Okay.
For the state of Play-Doh. I don't know if this is legit, okay?
Okay.
But it looks plausible, right? It's not like the other rumors that we saw. At least, clearly it showed
Yeah.
was very plausible. And let me make this a little smaller. There we go. So there's this image here showing the PlayStation big store, like games they were featuring. I don't know if
Uh.
it's still up. I just had my PlayStation on, didn't see this. But of course, they had Astrobot, Last of Us Part 1 with the PlayStation Plus logo. Now the writing's in Japanese, so I don't know if this is for a trial. I think it's currently on there for a trial. So who knows? Maybe this is on PlayStation Plus now. I
Uh.
don't know. But
Okay.
Stellar Blade, Horizon Zero Dawn, which again, that's what we heard. Hey, what's up, the
Yeah.
Apple52? How's it going? Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Adventures, Lego Horizon Adventures. Again, sounds plausible, and very clearly they need to talk about it because, well, the holidays are going to be upon us before you know it. I mean, the game's coming out in November. It's September 24th, and we haven't heard a peep. So they need to start that marketing up immediately.
Oh, definitely.
Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge is shown on here, and yesterday it was on Twitter. Warrior64 posted it. It was a video free DLC, which is cool that we're getting DLC like a couple years later.
Oh yeah.
But the video was then taken down from YouTube. So the publisher of the video took it down. But then GameSpot trailers still had the video up. So I watched it. And yeah, we're getting free DLC for Shredder's Revenge. It's going to have a remixed
Which is
soundtrack.
really cool.
Yeah, it's badass. I love Shredder's Revenge. Absolutely love it. So I was excited to hear that. And then there's going to be two new characters. Did you happen to see that?
I did. Yeah, I shared it yesterday. I mean, that's cool. It is paid DLC, but it's really cool. I freaking love the game. I bought it
Is it
twice
paid?
over, so I'm
I read it
excited
was
about it
free.
for sure. Then shout out Mr. Coffee in the chat there and Matt Long 6 Gaming. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Uh, some of the other games are Monster Hunter Wilds is shown. Metro Awakening VR, which I don't know about you, that is a game I'm planning on picking up
Oh
for
yeah.
PlayStation VR too. Because I mean, it's not like we're getting a lot of new games. And legit though, this is a game I'm interested in playing.
Me too. Me too. I like the I like the Metro games. Plus, we need something for that headset, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Then there's a game that's in Japanese writing, and then it says Origins, and it shows a samurai. I think I remember seeing this game.
That sounds
Um,
familiar.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's Fantasian Neo Dimension, which that's the game I've talked about it on the Nintendo Byte podcast. I'm hyped for that game. That's the game that came out on Apple Arcade exclusively, and it's finally out of that
Oh
exclusivity
yes, yes.
contract. So hyped about that. Uh, so that means it's coming soon. I know it's a winter game, but winter can be 2024
Yeah.
or it can be 2025, so we don't know.
Right.
Uh, Fear the Spotlight is another one, and it looks like a horror game that's very fitting, considering we're about to enter October. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. See how that does. Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Yeah. Very excited about that one.
Alan Wake 2. And again, the Alan Wake 2 shows a PlayStation Plus yellow logo. So I don't know if that's like part of premium or or if they're offering a trial. It's one or the other, right, Brandon? It's a trial or it's
Yeah.
part of premium.
Yeah.
I think part of premium would make sense because the DLC is coming out, right?
Right. Yep.
So that's a way for, of course, was it Remedy?
Yes. Let me
It's a way for them to make
check.
more money, right? Because they cut a deal with PlayStation, right?
Right.
Hypothetically, they cut a deal with them. They get a payout for allowing it to be brought to premium. They get the game into more hands of people, and then they buy the DLC.
Yeah.
Right. So, great business model. We've seen it done many times before. Hopefully, that's the case because I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it because I was waiting for physical.
No, I
I know
get that.
physical's
I'm
up
not
for
one of those
pre-order.
guys that likes to. There's exceptions, but I try not to do the double dipping with the digital and physical if I can, because I actually play my games that I grab physical. You know,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people with things like that, especially if it's like limited run stuff like that. I know a lot of people that buy them and just keep them sealed. And I can't say that I didn't used to do that, but these days can't do it no more. It's too many games. Gotta open it up.
And the other one is called
Got play and trade games in here.
Hell
and
Is
then
Us. I have no idea.
Jennifer Reynolds.
I
What's
don't
up,
know
guys?
what the hell that is. So that's what we got. That's what we got. I don't know.
All right. Can you still
So,
hear
yeah,
me?
let's-
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about that Ubisoft news.
Yeah. So, well, what's your thoughts on that? Because that was kind of interesting. Somebody had sent it to me just prior. I sent to you. You had already been checking something out about it.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
right. So I was, before the stream, made a run to the grocery store, grab a couple things, right? And, I was watching a YouTube video from someone I'm subscribed to, and it was talking about how Ubisoft is backing out. They backed out of Tokyo Game Show, which literally it starts on Thursday.
Yeah. That.
What?
To my knowledge, now I'm sure that this has happened where there's been potentially like an emergency of some kind, or
That's horseshit.
yeah, it's
If that's what they're
bullcrap.
trying to claim.
Bullcrap. There's get out of here. It's ridiculous, man. Look, I'm going to be straight up. I don't like Ubisoft anymore. I don't like them. I don't like to support them. I hate to say that because they have some great franchises that I love. I mean, Rayman, that doesn't, get any love. It's one of my favorites going way back. I love that series. They've got a lot of
Yeah.
other stuff. There's Assassin's Creeds that I actually do like, just a few. So I don't want to dislike a company, but
Same.
yeah,
I never do. I never want to do that, right? Just like you and I, we don't dislike any of the console manufacturers,
Yep.
right? Like we want them all to succeed because the more they succeed, the better it is for us, the consumer. Like that's
Yep.
the big picture of it, and we know that. We're old enough to know that. We've been around the block multiple times.
yep,
Yeah, and the Emma 52, he just said, I feel like that's a common sentiment, to be honest. And he's actually right, because I feel like that is too. It's the people who don't agree with that are the loudest. But
Yes.
they're a small faction of what makes up the gaming community, in my opinion. And it's like that with everything. You
Yep.
know, you can look at anything that's going on in the world, and it's the smallest groups that make the most noise, but that's really not the sum of it, right?
yeah, yeah,
So obviously the new Assassin's Creed is supposed to It's set in feudal Japan,
Yes,
and there's a bunch of BS with it.
as always.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of controversy surrounding it, and I understand all of it. And the Japanese people are very upset, and I understand why they are,
Yep.
and they don't support it. And again, all of this, I very clearly understand.
Yeah.
And what do you think about
mean,
this? Like, it's very easy to understand what's
you know,
going on.
it's hard to comment on anything. I'm sure everybody knows what it all is now at this point, right? Like, because it's been making the rounds for a while. But I understand as well why people are upset. I get it. It doesn't really make sense, but Ubisoft doesn't make sense. So I can't comprehend or understand most of the stuff that they do, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. And so they made decisions, and I'm not even going to go into detail about it, but I think for anyone watching, you know the decisions that they made with this game, right? But, you know, there's been more talk about it. More Japanese people have spoke up and said how they feel about it,
Yes.
and very clearly explained why. Like they're very very good at explaining crystal clear what the issues are, and yeah, I mean it is very very disrespectful.
It is. Some unfortunate decision making there. And I have no idea who approved these decisions, but it wasn't just one person. It was a lot of people.
We know who it was, probably, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the people at the top, right, who are just disconnected from reality,
Yep.
and it's the companies that they hire, the consulting companies, and you know which ones I'm talking about.
Yep.
I don't even want to mention their name on the live stream, but you know exactly. We all know who it is, and it's just unfortunate because I would like to go back to a simpler time where video games were just that, man. They're video games.
No
right?
politics, thrown in there. The
no
sly
politics.
politics. Man, I hate it.
No horse shit. Look, there's a lot of things in life that politics get thrown into it, right? And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of people who don't want to talk about it, and we're not going to talk about it here. And I'm not talking about it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
hate politics.
is that it enters so many forms of entertainment, and it enters a lot of forms of escapism, right? And video games are an escapism. Now, look, I've been gaming my whole life, so obviously it's more than that for me. It's a way of life, right? And it is for you too.
Yep.
And I'm sure for people in the chat, video games are way different. It's way more than that. But it penetrated TV, TV shows. I think it all kind of started going downhill. I've said this a million times, till I'm blue in the face. With reality TV is when things started to go downhill a little bit.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, because it was so funny. Like, if you guys were growing up back in that time and you heard people talk about reality TV, I was out there telling everyone, that's complete bullshit, right? Like, that's not real. That's scripted. No, it's reality TV, man. This is like when it was brand new. And I swear to you, like, 75% probably of the population thought it was real. I'm like, what is wrong with you? This is not real.
Yeah.
At all.
Tell me if I'm wrong about this. Do you agree that it was around the time, because obviously there was stuff way before that, right? Because I saw stuff on MTV when I was in grade
the
school.
Real world.
Yeah, the Real World is what I was gonna say, but I feel like it really blew up with that Jersey Shore show, because I remember during that time, that's when They found out the ratings were like super high, stock went up for MTV, and then it just kind of blew up. All we got like this bunch of crap, man, bunch of crap thrown on television. Just
Totally craptastic.
garbage.
Yeah.
So
100%. And you know, I think that's when it all started with TV, and then of course TV and movies, right? They kind of go hand in hand.
yep.
And then as time went on, a lot of this crap that we don't like became a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, if you're going to show, if you're going to create a show or direct a show on our network, you know, regardless of how you wrote your story, we need to include all this stuff. You need to figure out how to fit it into your story and script.
Yep.
It's like, well, that wasn't my original vision, right? So a lot of what we're getting today is not even the creator's original vision,
Right.
which sucks.
Yep.
Because they're being forced to do things that, again, they didn't create with their own brain. They're having to do it, which is shitty.
Mm-hmm.
So we deal with all that, but then it entered sports, the sports arena, which
Yeah.
I think for many, that was
Sure.
extremely personal. What's up, Anthony?
As it
How's
should
it going,
be.
man?
As it should
Yeah.
be.
Extremely personal, and it was for like I said, for a lot of people, me included. And I'm not talking about just one thing, right? It wasn't just one thing that one person did. And again, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But it wasn't just that. Like it's continued to persist. There's other things that have happened that have made it very, very political. Like, for example, I stopped watching ESPN years ago.
Oh, really?
Years ago. Oh yeah.
As you should.
Hey, I live and breathe sports, right? Like,
Right.
I really, especially basketball, right?
Yeah.
But I stopped watching ESPN years ago because there's way too much BS, way too many agendas on display there. And to be honest with you, they kind of hire personalities more so now over specialists, right? Analysts, people who really know what they're talking about. And then for people who know that the person on TV is just saying a bunch of bullshit and they don't know what they're talking about, it's a little insulting.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
For sure.
this guy ain't no analyst. He's not a specialist. And a lot of their media is just a certain way there. So I'm like, I stopped watching it a long time ago. Not into it.
I mean, it's Disney at the end of the day.
It's Disney Sports. That's what I call it. Disney Sports, man. That's really what it is now.
Unfortunate. I used to get the ESPN magazine. I don't know if you remember that, but
Of course.
yeah. I once upon a time, I liked them as well. I mean, said the same thing about Ubisoft, you know? Once upon a time.
Yeah. And so it entered sports, right? And everyone was pretty shocked that it entered the sports arena because I think a lot of people just felt that was sort of like sacrilegious almost. If you look at sports as a religion, which some people do,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I don't take it that serious, but I understand people do, and that's their choice. You know?
For sure. Yeah.
You do you. But again, it entered there, and it's like, okay, wow, I didn't think that could happen. And then it hit the one place where I think we all thought would hopefully never happen. That's video games. And it's spreading.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And for anyone really paying attention, right? Really paying attention and doing your research, you see that the games that have this are not doing good.
Yep. There's a long list of them.
There's a long list, and Ubisoft just keeps dropping the ball, and it sucks because I'll tell you what. I watched Assassin's Creed like from afar. I had a roommate, Charlie, that played it. He loved the game, and I enjoyed kind of watching him play it. This was especially when I was just working like insane hours in the restaurant business, managing. And
oh, dude, hold on. Let's
honestly,
talk for a second how hard the restaurant business is. I've done it most of my life. It's a lot. you clock in over the hours, especially if you work in the management, department. So
Exactly.
no
And
time.
so like when I got home from work, like you have to decompress, and I don't decompress by like drinking or anything. I don't find that to be healthy either. Even though I do drink occasionally, I just didn't want to do that. Like when you're in management,
Yeah.
I had to be up early. I was young too. So when you're young and you're in management, they're just like waiting for you to screw up.
Yep.
And so you have to prove them wrong there. Let me tell you that. I had to do that many times.
Same. Yep.
So when you're mentally drained, it was fun to just watch him play Assassin's Creed, right? And this was the first 2-3 games. Remember watching him play it a lot. And I actually didn't play Assassin's Creed at all, ever, until Valhalla. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Me
Played
too.
the heck out of it. I platinumed the game on PS5. It was fun. And there was a lot to do to platinum that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't make it that far, but well, I played it on Xbox, but achievements I didn't get all the achievements.
Yeah, and then a year later, I decided, it was about maybe 13, 14 months later, I decided to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey because they updated that to, run at 60 FPS. And so I played that and I had a great time again, right? And I'm like, nice, like 2 for 2. This is great. And then now I have the other Assassin's Creed, the one that came out last year that's not as long. I haven't played that yet.
Yeah,
But
what's that called?
I
Mirage.
wanted to-
Mirage. I had to think.
Yeah,
about
Mirage.
that.
Yeah, I have it. I had it pre-ordered. And I swear, like 3 or 4 weeks later, it went on sale for like half the price permanently, which was annoying. But yeah, like I enjoyed the last two. I had plans, and I still do, to play Origins, and that also was updated with a 60 FPS patch. So I was pretty hyped about that, to be perfectly honest. And then this happens though with like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and like I'm not gonna say I side with one side or the other. I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to make, informed decisions for myself on what I want to play, right? And I am a spectator sort of in this scenario, in that I see what's going on with both sides. And obviously, when you look at that, it's like, man, I understand what the Japanese people are saying, and they are not going to buy this game.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that. They will not buy this game. And the pre-orders are already terrible from what I read here in the US. So what's going to happen? Because they can't have another flop, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because Star Wars flopped big time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the sales are. Look, let me say this. I don't know what the sales are, but I know it's flopped. I know that much.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
I mean, here's the thing. Like Star Wars, I didn't play it, so I gotta say that first. But I did talk to people who played it. I also saw some footage that was sent to me. Somebody screen captured some footage where they were like they were going through the level, basically. Like they started dropping through the level and then like falling down this mountain where they were like, they couldn't control it, just kept moving, like weird glitches and bugs, right?
I saw a lot of that too.
Games does not look good. I'm sorry. And we talked about Star Wars so much. Used to love it. Again, same thing, like the other stuff. It's one of those things I still deep down love the property, but yeah, it's been really tarnished for me. So much so that I've got like 11, 12 Star Wars shirts, and I don't even like to wear them.
I hear you on that. Like, look, I enjoy Star Wars. When The Force Awakens came out, My girl and I went to the marathon, all 7 movies at the theater.
Yeah.
Only one theater in Arizona was doing this, and I got tickets for it. Then when the last one came out, experience was great. Were the movies great? I think they dropped the ball. I don't like the direction they went with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Luke doesn't even like the direction.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him talk about it.
Yeah, and he's I don't know if he's all there, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not.
But I'm saying he was thinking clearly enough to say very clearly that he was not happy with that direction it was going.
I mean, I think he saw the same thing that a lot of us saw, and he probably saw. He did see, more than we probably even know about. I'm sure. Maybe there were things that he had to fight against.
Yeah.
It's just so unfortunate, man. Truly unfortunate. I don't know what's going on, but some of these hobbies, these things that we love, man, they're infected. It's an infection with all this stuff that's happening to them.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's just more or less like, can we please just let it be? Just let it
Just like
be.
the Beatles said, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask? Let it be. Hey, let's just all get along. Let's just all treat each other right. Let's just all be friends with everyone, and nobody asks each other anymore what side of the fence you're on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who cares?
Back when we were growing up, nobody cared. Nobody cared. I kid you not.
I can
Nobody
tell you,
knew what you were.
I still don't care. That doesn't
Yeah.
make or break a friend for me. I got friends on
It doesn't.
everywhere, on the spectrum. I don't care. I don't care what you're, doing on your own time, as long as it's not whatever. I don't care what, your beliefs are. That doesn't change,
No.
Being friends with people are the way that I feel about people. So that's how I feel about it.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, Brandon, what side of the fence you're on. I don't know if you're this or that. I don't know any of that, and I've never once thought to myself, I wonder what he is. I wonder if he's side too. Like, I've never asked that. I don't ask that about anyone. I don't even think in those terms, dude. It's like,
that's my thought.
I don't care.
I mean, like, it doesn't matter, and when you do learn those things or whatever, it's just because you're having a conversation with a friend. Like, that's how I think about it. Like, the more you get to know about somebody is good, but it doesn't change how I feel just because you think one way about something. And I can understand why people think the things that they do. I get it. Like, I can understand. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but I can understand.
Exactly.
I get it. We're all human beings.
Exactly, and we all should have our own thoughts and feelings on everything. If we did our time on Earth would be the most boring thing ever.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And that's part of freedom, right? That's part of like living in a free country, because there are countries you can go to and you have to all think the same, and if you don't, you're off the team, man.
Yep.
Permanently.
Yeah, that's truth. Yeah, I mean, it just blows me away how people are with any of this stuff. I don't care about your politics, your religion, and it doesn't need shoved in the game. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Exactly.
None of that does. Like that to me. You were talking earlier about, you know, people feeling really strongly about the sports stuff. To me, when I think about it, I think all of them are just bad. Like TV, that it's shoved into all these things because it's to me. I think this is brainwashing a whole bunch of people to try to think one certain way. So to me, it's like, what is going on here? Like this is happening right in front of your eyes, and people can't see that. You know,
Oh, I
I
agree.
just think it's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Wholeheartedly agree. And
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
it really is. Yep, it really is. It sucks, but seems like nothing's changing at all.
No, it's not. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But I just I thought that was kind of crazy to happen like right before we were going live with this and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
And we got a minute. We got about a minute 15 left here until PlayStation's going to go live. And I'm just going to go ahead and click refresh real quick because sometimes it gets off track.
Yeah, mine's doing that now. It got
Okay.
off track. It's being all weird for some reason.
All right, we're good. We got 57 seconds here. Chat, can you let me know how the volume is? Soundtrack playlist is now muted.
Yeah, I got to switch
The
around the new link.
PlayStation live stream is now playing. Audio is on. So let me know, please, how that sounds. And again, if you guys were just jumping in the middle of this conversation, I'll quickly recap it in 10 seconds. All we were talking about is Ubisoft. They, out of nowhere, decided that they are canceling their scheduled, planned visit to Tokyo Game Show. They completely canceled. They were on the roster. They were supposed to talk, and they just canceled two days before it starts. So bad luck.
Weirdest
All right.
thing.
It's go time.
PlayStation Studios.
Thank you. 5 new speedrun levels. Wow. I mean, this game just came out.
Pretty nice.
I know. Like this is video games right here, guys. This is what we need more of. And it's free.
Nice.
Love it. This is a unique art style.
Pretty neat, yeah.
Ooh, PSVR 2.
They did say that we were going to see some of that, so that's good. Okay, now I'm just trying to got why the sound cut out for some reason.
Yeah, that looks really cool considering that's PSVR.
Yeah, it does.
And that looks really
Creepy, but cool. Almost like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
Creepy.
I get that kind of. Yeah,
Yeah, that looks cool. No release date though, right?
no release date. Nope. And sorry there, Mr. Coffee. Still trying to figure out why the audio just randomly cut out, so I'm working on that now. This looks interesting. Maybe.
Both wrong. They live inside our heads.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah. It's interesting.
This looks very interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Do you think this is Souls-like combat?
More than likely, because everything is now.
I know.
Like, as cool as it is, it's kind of tiring, man.
I can't tell because there's no HUD.
Right.
I mean, there's probably no HUD for a reason right now. They probably don't want us to know.
More than likely, yeah. All right. Hell is us.
So that was on the list
Yeah.
of
That what? Wait. What?
of leaked games. Hell is Us. That was the
That
last
was
game
on
on,
the list.
Yep.
You're right.
and Metro was on the list too.
Yep.
So I think we had the correct leak.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Wild. Hey, I'm gonna say I'm all for new PSVR 2 games because I invested in the headset. I'd like to have games for it, so that's how I feel.
Completely agree. I'm happy to have games for this.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Coffee said some of its moments remind me of Control. Yeah, I did get a little bit of that actually. I see what you're talking about.
That was a fun game. I platinumed Control.
I thought it
that's
was
how
good
much.
too.
That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So guys, this is a PSVR 2 game, and graphically, this looks very impressive. And the Metro series is a very good series. So
It really is. What's up,
yeah,
Playing Trade Games? How's it going?
November 7th. Okay. Yes.
Soon.
Soon. Yeah.
Man. Interesting.
I have to add that to my calendar.
And if anybody wants to get me that for my birthday, it is November 24th. All jokes, obviously. What is this? Souls Combat. Ooh.
Metro Awakening's coming out the same day as Mario and Luigi. Brothership.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting that day one.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I'll get them both for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about that Mario and Luigi though. I'm a big fan of that series. I think they're really good.
Oh, me too.
I don't think there's any of them because I played and beat them all. I don't think I disliked any of them. So
Yeah, same. I beat them all. This looks good.
yeah, yeah, it does.
I
I like the
I-
creatures. I like the transformation there with the werewolf. That was pretty cool.
Same. Like I like the setting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for anything medieval. But
Okay,
there's
20
there's a lot of
2025.
it out there. So
2025.
I almost said Pokemon.
Is this?
I almost said, why is Pokemon in this?
What is this?
Power World.
Is it Power World, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I played Power World when it came out on Xbox, and I liked it for what it was. It had a lot of issues at launch. I don't know how it is now. But it was, I mean, it's so entirely different from Pokemon that I get the creature thing is the only thing that, to me, that is the comparison. The gameplay is like nothing like it. So I don't know. It's fine.
Chat. Let me ask you a question. Have you guys played Power World? I have not. I'm aware of it. I know about it, and like any video game, I wish them well. I hope they find their audience, and I know this game did really well when it came out.
Yeah.
It's out today.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's really interesting that was on there because I mean the stuff we just saw with Power World, I feel like that could have possibly been part of the reason why.
Yeah.
They certainly don't want it on other consoles.
Whoa!
Oh my
Lunar?
god, no.
Yes!
Are you kidding
What?
me? Oh my god.
What?
I was not expecting that. Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Okay, guys,
oh,
let me know
dude,
if you played Lunar because these games are phenomenal. Wow.
I was gonna say I gotta turn down the window capture. I gotta turn down the stream a little bit because this song's gonna totally get hit with a copyright.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to do the same thing.
Chat, I'm sorry I had to turn this down just a little bit. I'm gonna turn it up in a
Good
second.
thinking. Didn't think about that.
Okay, it's back up. It's back
Okay.
up. I just know I'll get hit with a copyright with that song.
For sure.
Anytime I hear vocals, I know it's a copyright.
Always, yep. So here's we knew about this yesterday,
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm really excited about it.
I posted about this on Twitter yesterday, and I think you did too, Brandon. So yeah,
Yeah, really excited
dude,
about this.
Shredder's Revenge is so good.
It's very good, man. Very good.
So guys, if you haven't played Lunar, you're not the only one because it's a very hard game to get. But look it up
Yeah.
online. Look how much it goes for on eBay. Maybe go on Reddit or somewhere and read some reviews, and you will see what people say about this game.
Yeah. What's up, Changeling, by the way? Thanks for coming in here, dude. That's not why Nintendo is suing. People just immediately say that looks like Pokemon. Yeah.
I'm hyped for Lunar. Holy
That
Dude.
just made the showcase for me.
dude, we're getting Lunar and
Lunar Collection.
Suikoden, or
Yeah.
as they say, Suikoden.
I'm a weirdo. I've always said Suikoden. I don't. Is it? It is Suikoden, right? Or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hyped, man. I have Lunar SSS complete on PS1. It's such a gorgeous game. I love those boxes for the PS1, man. Those boxes that came in. Ooh, I had it back in the day when it was new, and just loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Is the audio a little bit better now? I just turned up. So
Suikoden.
here's Fantasian, Neo Dimension, December 5th.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this game too. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
We're just just over a month away from the release of Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Did anybody watch the Sonic showcase today? Sonic Central? Let me know in the chat if you guys checked that out and what you thought about it. Do you like Dragon Age, Steve?
Word from the wardens. Have they found Gillenane? Not yet.
I didn't play the other ones.
One of
Yeah.
dragons.
I'm
Not because I was just too busy. Honestly, I was too busy working
Yeah.
crazy hours, in management for forever. But I'm aware of the game. I know there's a following,
yeah,
and
same.
I'm aware of some of the things going on with this one.
Yeah, I kind of in the same boat. Never played. I own one of them. I still haven't played it though on the 360. But yeah, I just during that time, things were just kind of crazy.
Just you and me.
Yeah, so I just never got time, man.
Everyone, get ready.
Looks cool though. This one looks really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I really like the aesthetic. Definitely looks like a maybe like it's a darker game, because I know the one I had, I watched some video on it. Didn't really look like this. I think that was Dragon Age. What was it? Dragon Age Origin, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Origins.
Ooh, yeah, I'm a sucker for dragons. Those designs are really cool in this game.
Second detachment. Flank
Like this is the second dragon I've seen for it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Gives me Monster Hunter vibes right there. But this gameplay too, the whole thing kind of gives me Monster Hunter vibes. Yeah, it does. Really, really gives me Monster Hunter vibes. Wow. Ooh, that's a lot of options there. A lot of combos. Is this something that you're planning on playing?
It's on my list, of games obviously coming out.
Yeah, I'm kind of undecided. This looks cool. There's just so much, man. I have to kind of consolidate what I'm playing.
Yeah, like I have a dry erase board of all the games coming out, and it's massive. But I have Dragon Age Veilguard on there.
Nice. Yeah, I might check it out. I'll just have to see what time brings it when it releases.
It's coming out on Halloween.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
soon. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have to see what's that week. If there's anything else launching. Zelda I should get through pretty quick. Oh, that looks cool. Dang.
Brandon,
Yeah.
Gillenane.
Brolin in my chat asked me what do we think about the state of play so far?
I think it's. I mean, the Lunar Collection was really. It's fine so far. I didn't really have any expectations for this event, to be honest with you.
I find that's the best way to go into this, right?
It is,
whether
yeah.
it be this, a direct, whatever.
In Bright Falls.
No expectations.
The FBC's research
Oh,
department
Remedy. Is this control related or Alan Wake?
house.
It looks.
I bet you it's
Alan.
I bet you it's Alan Wake Control DLC.
What?
Just kept
Yep. They're
Right.
both the same company. I bet you anything that's what it is.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting thought there.
Either that or it's a sequel to Control, because that's Control.
I could see it. If for some reason, what we're seeing right now, I see both. Yeah. Ooh. Dang. Alan Wake 2.
What is it?
The Lake House expansion. So.
I put money on it that is Control. Look at the background.
It could. I mean, it could be. What's the Lake House have to do with Control, though? Is there any like
Well,
correlation
there-
there?
There was DLC in Control for Alan Wake.
Oh, there was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's Control right there. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, Hitman, right? Hitman on PSVR 2?
Yeah. Yep.
Sick.
Looks like it. KP, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in here and hanging out. Appreciate it.
PSVR 2 getting some love. I can finally
Thank
use that
goodness.
headset some more.
Yep. Funny thing here is I still have not plugged up the PC adapter yet. I still got to do that at some point. It's just been sitting here. It's not even opened up yet. This looks cool though. I mean, it might be leading towards a crossover. KP said. Yeah, that could be a crossover for sure. Hitman World of Assassination. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Is that 3 or 4 PSVR 2
I think
games?
4, yeah, which is what,
Yeah.
if I had any expectations, I'd want to see more of that, to be honest with you.
Here's Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain remake.
I actually ordered this for the Evercade.
Nice. I'm excited to play this.
Yeah, me too. It's something I've always wanted to get back to, so. It looks like it's cleaned up a lot, too. It definitely looks cool.
Well, yeah, it's cleaned up and it has an improved,
Frame
obviously,
rate.
frame rate.
Yeah.
It's Aspire who's doing it.
Yeah. Which they usually do a pretty good job.
Unless it's Knights of the Old Republic,
Oh,
but yeah.
What a disaster that was.
Yeah, hey, where is our update on Knights of the Old Republic?
I don't think we're getting one. They didn't. They
I don't
just
think
say
so
it was
either.
Canned. I mean,
No, they didn't.
they didn't.
they-
I thought
they
did
actually-
in a board meeting or not a board meeting. Sorry, investor meeting. I thought
They said the complete opposite.
Oh, I see. I
But
thought
but
this was-
everyone thought they were bullshitting.
Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered arrived.
Yeah, that's a disappointment because man, Knights of the Old Republic is just an absolute gem. So
What's up,
good.
Leon Kennedy?
Games from the original
Hey,
PlayStation
what's up,
era
Leon?
also inspired
Love your
the
games.
spotlight from Blumhouse. It brings atmospheric polygonal
Man,
scenes
this one was long
satisfying
overdue. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad to see that series getting some love. Legacy of Kain rules.
This game looked really cool.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
looks interesting. It looks interesting for sure, but man, October 22nd, so that's a week before. You said Dragon Age launches on Halloween?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot coming out actually, man. This next month is quite a bit.
This colorful world includes unique creatures, a peculiar cast of
Uh-oh,
characters,
Pokemon. Uh-oh.
also allows you to invite
Uh-oh, Zelda.
Yep. I bet they have a patent on that too, I'm sure.
Towers of Agazba launches into early access this November.
That looks interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Next, Epic Games
I want to
brings
see the
exquisite
Silent Hill
sounds
2
to Lego
remake.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to show maybe more of
This
that, I would
feature enables
assume.
friends and family to explore the
But
world
maybe-
and
maybe
build
not.
villages together while playing on the same PS4
Lego Fortnite.
Oh god.
Want to get the kids hooked in at a young age.
Snooze
Limited
fest.
edition DualSense wireless controller arrives later this year, with
No
pre-orders
hate
starting
towards
October
Fortnite. I got a lot of friends that play it, but just not my thing.
3rd. Visit PlayStation blog for more details.
Zero hate towards Fortnite.
Next,
Yeah.
I don't play it, but
I respect it.
Dynasty Warriors
respect it.
Let's
Yep.
build up
Koei
a
Tecmo Games
a
has
big fan
registered
base,
the
man.
release date.
Sure has. Okay, so this was on the leak as well.
Guardian of peace.
All
Starting to
these
wonder
games
if
were
that
on the
was
leak.
a joke or not.
You may one day bring about order.
Don't think so.
Until then, you must adapt to the chaos and find a way to
Yeah,
survive.
I'm excited about this one.
Choose your path wisely.
I got some Dynasty Warriors burnout from all the Nintendo ones that came out, but I'm excited for this. I like the series a lot. It's just we got, and I'm being serious. The Nintendo ones I got burnt out because I replayed Zelda Hyrule Warriors I replayed it 3 times on the Wii U, the 3DS, the Switch. Then obviously played the new one, 2 Fire Emblem ones. Yeah, I just got real burnout, but this looks cool. This could bring me back.
Leon Kennedy said, I'm hoping we'll see some more of me in this state of play.
Some more of what?
Leon Kennedy said, I'm hoping that we'll see some more of me
Oh,
in the state of play.
yeah.
Yeah, I said I'd love to
Yeah.
see more of you in the state of play. I'm a big fan of your games.
Yeah, no doubt. Big fan. KP said, I know a lot of people are looking forward to Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic to be shown during this. So I'm not too super familiar with the series, but I assume that's the next sequel.
I was still hoping that I imagined.
I will say I did buy Security Breach on the PS5, but I haven't played it. It was dropped down to $20 one time, and I grabbed it thinking my daughter might enjoy it, but just never wanted to play it.
Hasn't it been 5 nights already?
Yeah, I think we're at 7 or 8 nights, right?
Yeah. I guess the same could be said for Final Fantasy, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Force is amazing.
All right, so Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yep.
And you guys can see, I mean, Brandon, you're watching on your channel, but this is locked in at, it looks like 30 frames, right?
Think so, yeah. Which, I mean, it's not particularly great because this is something that could definitely benefit from the 60. And, I mean, it's not ideal for a game like this. So
What?
doesn't mean 30 is bad per se, but for a game
I
like
know.
this, I would expect to see 60, but
What does Monster Hunter World,
yeah.
what does that run at? 60?
Yeah.
Or 30?
Yeah, because it ran at 30 originally, I believe, and then it got a patch and was running at 60.
Was it a patch or was it PS4 Pro that it ran 60?
Well, I played it on the 1X at the time, so it might have been. Yeah, it might have been that. Yeah, it might have been that. It might have got a patch for PS4 Pro, or it could have. I don't remember if it just like. I don't remember how they did it. I can't remember. It's been a little while.
Well, you know, Capcom caught some flack from fans earlier this year with Dragon's Dogma
Yeah, that's right.
running
yeah.
at 30.
Which, I mean, the thing is, for a game like this, it's different if we're talking about like a 2D platformer or something like that. It's different with a game like this. Like 60, you can feel the difference, man. It's a
You can.
massive difference. So, I mean, it's double the frame rate, so it's pretty obvious. But yeah,
I mean, I agree on all of that. I'm going to give Capcom the benefit of the doubt because they've earned my trust over the decades, right? That if you think this game is great at 30 frames per second, I'll get, you know, I'm obviously going to play this regardless, but they must think internally that this is okay. February 28th.
I'm so excited for this game. You have no
Okay,
idea.
so this is the first time we finally got a date, and you know why I
Yeah.
care so much about this date?
What's that?
Because everyone for a long time we were wondering, like, hey, is this game going to come to Switch too? And is
Right,
that why
yeah.
they're holding off on the date?
Apparently not.
I mean, yeah, but if Switch 2 comes out in March,
Oh, yeah, true. True, yeah.
like if it comes out at the beginning of March,
I mean,
that's
there's
the
no
launch
reason
title.
this shouldn't come to Switch 2, I would think. Like, you can... Not saying it visually looks bad at all, but it looks like it could come to Switch 2. I'm sure with the DLSS and stuff like that. I'm sure. I'm
I have a
wondering
good
if,
feeling about it.
KP said, I'm wondering if our Resident Evil 9 will make an appearance. Maybe. Capcom Online Program. Yeah, I'm very excited about this game. I gotta say, I actually like what they did as far as kind of separating the hardcore. It's basically this. You got hardcore Monster Hunter, and then you've got more user-friendly Monster Hunter. And they're doing both. They're doing both games. I like it. Because Rise was more the hardcore, old-school Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Which that's, yeah, I've been playing since the very first one on PS2, but those PSP games, man, really, they really captured me. I played them online every single day. Remember just having some really good times with those games.
The animation looks interesting in this Lego Horizon.
It does, yeah. Looks good.
Almost like stop
Yeah,
motion a little bit.
yeah, it does.
Got it all in. Oh, I forgot to mention the pre-order.
Yeah, are you gonna
Okay, so-
play that, by the way?
We are so excited.
Yeah.
that everyone
Yeah.
got their hands on
Yeah, I
Lego
think I'm going
Horizon
to as well.
I like Horizon a lot.
Me too.
I
They've-
platinum both games actually.
It's unfortunate it always gets overshadowed by usually like something Nintendo related, but
Okay, look, here it is.
yep.
Hor-
Aloy
Far
Zero Dawn
Remastered.
is being remastered for
All right.
PS5 and PC.
Man, this list was I don't
Horizon
know.
Zero Dawn Remastered includes more than 10 hours of re-recorded conversation mocap and countless graphical improvements that bring the game.
It's kind of wild to me that I don't know, man. They really rubbed me wrong with The Last of Us remastering it and then remaking it.
I know,
guess
and I
some
thought
could-
that was going to be the last of it.
Yeah.
Look, it's coming out the same day.
Oh, same day as Dragon Age, right?
Upgrade to the new PS5 version for
$10 upgrade. You guys hear that?
Visit PlayStation blog for more details and watch the full
I think
trailers
that's a
of
good
all
thing.
the enhancements to
I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. think that's a
I
good
own the
thing.
original. I platinumed it. I enjoyed it.
New content is on the way to the action
Changeling.
I don't
said
know if I
same
want to
game.
play it again, but
I don't know that I'm gonna jump back into it. Changeling said same game with higher contrast.
yeah.
All right, what's this Japanese-esque game?
And Stellar Blade's original
Stellar Blade.
Oh, so-
featuring over
Oops.
180 songs
Missed
from
them say
the game
that.
is available on select streaming services
Yeah.
starting today.
Okay, cool.
Oh shoot.
But that's not all.
Hopefully I muted that in time.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did not.
It's okay. I'll trim it out after if I have to.
Sci-fi worlds collide in the Stellar Blade and Nier Automata collaboration.
Nice.
coming to Stellar Blade
I heard about that.
That's really
So-
cool. I love Automata. Love it.
The M52 in chat said he has the original Horizon and he
Yeah.
hasn't played it yet. So like for him,
Perfect.
Your monthly games
perfect.
Yep.
WWE 2K21,
$10.
Dead Space, and Doki Doki Literature Club Plus.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Yeah,
Great
Dead-
for Halloween.
Say what you will, I don't necessarily like visual novels, but the Doki Doki one, the only reason I played it is I had a friend tell me about
Fan favorites from the original
it having like a crazy ending, and it does.
Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain,
I can't-
Capcom's Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis.
Nice.
Nice.
Too bad it's not a new one.
6 is The Last of Us.
Okay, here we go.
We're celebrating by adding the critically acclaimed PS5 hit The Last of Us Part 1 to the PlayStation Plus game catalog.
Dude.
So this is the remake.
Yeah, it's coming to PlayStation Plus. So
That's
we had
cool.
the whole leak.
That's crazy.
Everything on that leak was
Wait,
legit.
We're missing the other Horizon though, right? Had to.
Oh no, I'm talking about the leak that I pulled up earlier.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a cool looking controller.
What are these like Galaxy versions?
Something like that. That's pretty neat. They're neat looking though.
They are.
Yeah.
I got my purple controller.
Yeah, I got purple too.
Yeah, for the Phoenix Suns. You know, it's purple and orange.
Have you ever thought about taking the I don't know what you would call it, but that front cap where it's got, you know, the black on it? You can swap those out pretty easy. I thought about switching the collar on that. You could do that to match the collars. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I would.
I've looked into the pieces. You can get them for like $5.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Dana Carvey's back.
We recently revealed the
Nice.
newest addition to the PlayStation 5 family, PS5 Pro, alongside several games showcasing the superior frame rates and improved graphics that the new console makes possible.
Yeah.
With PS5 Pro, developers have access to 3 key improvements: an upgraded GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI-driven upscaling that combine to bring developers closer to realizing their unique vision.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, but the thing is that because it's in, you know, they're gonna have to support the PlayStations that don't have that. I wonder, just like the PS4 Pro, how many games are actually going to utilize that hardware? Probably not many, is my guess. Development or you know, another team of people managing that.
Yep.
So it's extra work, and they're going to be like, for what? The install base is like nothing.
What's up, Nate? The show's been great, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised on the show. Pretty surprised.
They announced a lunar collection, which
Probably my
you
favorite
know.
thing.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
And Fantasian looks fantastic. And that's coming out this year.
Yep.
People come north to disappear.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Is this
What is this? Is this? I don't know. Look at that. That looks real right there. Oh. Okay. A little gruesome there. Wait, is this a new No way. Hold on.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. No. Is it a new Last Ronin? Or is it a new... No, there's no way. New Ghost.
I thought maybe a new Ghost of
That's what-
Tsushima, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Well, maybe it is. Hold on. Let's see.
and then I was wondering, I'm like, is this from Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. A lot of samurai stuff coming out these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to play the Last Ronin, but I don't know. Maybe it is New Ghost because the wind. Yep. That wind that you have to follow.
Cool.
Yeah. Dude, I'm all on board for this. I love Ghost. I've replayed it twice, PS4 and PS5. Yep, Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. All right. New favorite thing from the showcase. Yep, I'm on board.
Do you think this is gonna run at like 30 frames on PS5 and 60 on PS5 Pro?
I could see it, yeah.
I could see it too.
And also gives them like, oh, you know, hey, if you want to play it better, over here. Sorry, nothing.
I
we can
mean,
do
I
about
hope
it.
to God they have a performance option. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
would hope
Like,
so. Yeah, I don't even. I usually don't even switch. It's not unless I'm going to go see what it looks like, you know, in their 4K mode. But yeah, looks cool. I mean, visually, the cutscenes here look really good. Of course.
yeah, it looks excellent.
Ghosts of Yote.
Cool.
Nice. Let's go.
Okay, when do you think it's coming out?
March.
I was gonna say 2025.
2025. Yeah, sometime.
That's a fall
Yeah, I can see it.
2025 title. That's probably in November, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a flagship title.
Thanks for watching. All right.
Okay, so let's let's do this, okay? We need to kind of recap this because, as always, there was a lot of games announced today.
Yeah.
And part of me is like taking it in, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously, I mean, I'm a fan too. I would normally just watch these myself. So I'd sit there and like make a list of everything. I wrote down a couple of games on my big calendar. So we got Metro VR
Yep.
on the 7th of November. And then what else we got? Okay, yeah, Fantasian comes out December 5th. And
Yep.
I'm really hyped for that game. I think that game's going to like fly under the radar though.
Probably. I can see that.
It will. It will. But let me tell you guys, like, I have heard nothing but good things from this game. And the full title is what? Fantasian Neo Dimension?
Yeah, Neo Dimension, yep.
My God, I've heard such good things from this. And again, this game came out a couple of years ago. It was stuck on Apple Arcade.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but hey, it's getting brought here now, so that's cool.
Yeah. And I agree with you. It's it's unfortunate anytime a game gets stuck on a platform that just does not have the install base for it to truly be enjoyed by everybody, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm hyped for this. I do wonder, I really do wonder, are we going to get a physical version of this game? Or is it going to be digital first, maybe physical down the line?
Yeah, I can easily see that it's because I mean it was originally already a digital only title. I can see that, and then a company like Limited Run or something picks up and puts out the physical. I mean that seems to be, even big companies are doing that now. You see, so
Yeah, they are, and I think we're going to see more of that as time goes on.
September 26, 2024. Not sure what that is for. Maybe for what we were talking about before, but yeah, it's yeah, I can see that. Definitely gonna happen. I can see digital only at release. A lot of places are doing it. I mean, you saw Lollipop Chainsaw, for instance. Companies like that are doing that sort of thing, which is unfortunate. That game apparently runs like crap.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
That and Shadow of the Damned also went straight to
Yep.
limited run, but I have that pre-order because it was $25 for a PS5 physical game. Remember, I mentioned that to you. I got it
I forgot
locked in
about
for
that
25,
too.
and I'm like, that seems interesting. Like, yeah, I'll take a risk
Forgot
on
about
that.
Dang. That's a bummer. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
So I'm waiting for the PlayStation blog to update with everything we just saw. But just kind of scrolling through because they have posts of everything. And of course, Lego Horizon Adventures, November 14th. Right in there, flagship slot there. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I think what is Thanksgiving? It's a little bit later this year, right? Isn't it on the 29th?
It might be. I'll take a look. It's always weird because my birthday is 24th, and there's days where it
28th.
falls on it. Sometimes it's the day before.
Yeah.
That's a little later. I mean, that's
It's the 28th.
interesting.
Okay, so it comes out 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, prime time. That's the prime time slot for the game that you're hoping, obviously, is going to sell the most. Now, I would presume, right, that the Switch version's coming out the same day,
Yeah, I would assume that.
which is good. I'm gonna play the game, right? I'm gonna play it. I'm excited for it. I do like Lego games. I really like the Horizon games. I don't know what platform. I'm leaning towards Switch, but I know it's gonna run better, obviously on PS5.
yeah.
But I'll tell you why I'm leaning towards Switch. A couple of reasons, okay?
Because it's weird for one.
Yeah, one, it is weird. Two, I want to support this game coming to the Switch because, you know, the more we support it, maybe the more games we'll get. Like, think about this. Think about this, right? And I don't know in what world this would happen because it's so much PlayStation branding, but honestly, we all know a game like Astrobot would do really well on Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
But the game is also a walking, talking advertisement as well, in a sense, for PlayStation and their history.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know if they would do it, right? Like, I don't know if this could happen, but I think that it would sell fantastic. And so you support this game on Switch because hopefully we can get more opportunities, right? For some games to cross over.
Right.
To multi-plat. But also, the other reason is that I think Lego Horizons will eventually come to PlayStation Plus for free.
Yeah, I could see that. A lot of Lego titles do, so I could see that.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at it today.
That's a good point.
They just announced that The Last of Us Part 1, which was a $70 game, remember? When that was announced, it was $70, and everyone's like, what?
I was one of the losers that tried to get that. I think it's called Firefly Edition that, you know, people were selling for like crazy money. I don't know if you remember that.
I have it behind me.
Ah, lucky son of a
Part
gun.
1 and 2. Yeah, it's to the right of me. But yeah, I know it was very hard to get, and that was a mess trying to get one, and I felt bad for everyone who wanted to get it and didn't, just because it was so messy trying to even get that game.
It was, yeah, it really was.
It was not fun. So that's why I would support Lego Horizons though on Switch, is because I want to see more of this. And I do think we'll eventually get it for free if you have PlayStation Plus. So why not, right? And also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play Lego Horizons on day one because it is in the thick of everything. Like, guys, there's so many games coming out in October. What's up, Twitch? How's it going, man? There's so many games coming out in October.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's kind of crazy, really.
I got my dry erase board here, okay? So as everyone knows, everyone on Earth probably knows this, Zelda comes out any day. The 26th, obviously.
Yep.
We got Silent Hill 2 on the 8th, which that's starting to get some good feedback. And they're in the most recent.
Yep.
Yeah, in the most recent playthrough, I got some good feedback.
Which is good because that's what I want to hear. I love Silent Hill 2. So
me too.
The original's great. Just was talking about it. Funny that you bring that up. Today's the anniversary of Silent Hill 2. It's how was it? Did I say it was? I have to look.
Someone saw my list, but I got it. Yeah, I got it right here. Metaphor Refantasio. I have a feeling that game is going to.
I'm so excited for it.
I have a gut feeling it could be something really special to the point that it could be in Game of the Year discussions out of nowhere. Like
it could be. I pre-ordered
and I don't care about that
immediately.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I always, for the past 3 years, I've streamed the Game Awards, but it's only for like the announcement stuff. I
agree.
About the other stuff.
Look, I like the awards and all that, and I like that there is a show and a venue, right, to celebrate video games. And I think Keeley does a good job too with getting all these banger announcements locked in for a show. Kind of like having a winter E3 in a world where we don't have E3 anymore. It's nice. And so I appreciate it for all those things, right? But just like growing up, when they'd have like the Emmys on or the Academy Awards, like, hey, I don't really care, man.
You're not invested in it. I mean, it doesn't.
I'm not.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to particularly do with us. And I don't know. If
and
it means
the movies I like aren't going to win prize stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the movies growing up. You know what I mean? Like, you look at some of the movies that we enjoyed, and all the critics said it was crap. right?
Always,
they
yeah.
they hated him. So I don't really care about that, right? A lot of times the movies the critics hate, we love.
Yeah.
So there's things I like about it, but just for the sake of talking about this, I do think Metaphor could be in that discussion.
I think
right?
it could be. Yeah.
Couple people in chat talking about Dragon Ball Z, Nintendo's All Stars.
Yep.
Talking about Dragon Ball Z. I've heard there's a lot of hype for that.
Got that pre-ordered too because that's about to come out. It has like over 100 characters, which is crazy. What's up, Don Banana Mode? How's it going?
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's insane.
The Emma 52 said he's very satisfied. The show, he went in without many expectations other than, I want to see some good games, and that's what happened. And
Yeah.
I think that was your expectations, right? And that was mine.
I mean, I legitimately, like I said earlier, I didn't really have any expectations, just hoping to see, good stuff. And I did say during it, PSVR 2 games I think are great because we need, something for the people that invested in that, And it also just sold gangbusters now after that adapter came out. So, there's a lot more people that have it. Yeah, so I'm excited to see more stuff for that. I'm surprised to see, we didn't see a ton, but I'm surprised to see that many that we did see. Because, I mean, there's been showcases before where we've seen, like 1, maybe 2, sometimes none. So, state of plays that is.
Yeah, I agree. Like you and I were both day one PSVR 2 adopters, and like I got it because like, hey, I was brand new channel.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show it off. I wanted to review some games, and because I love technology, like
too.
I really do, and I knew there was a chance. In fact, I knew there was a good chance that this may not latch on, and this may not get a lot of support.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna get one anyways because you know what? If I buy one and I review it, that obviously that helps other people to determine if they should get one. And maybe I help someone else invest in one, and maybe I help them save money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because we all know there's not a lot of games.
I got it mostly for the channel. And like you said, I love tech. I'm big into tech.
Yeah,
I've
I
always
love it,
loved
dude. I'm a
so-
total tech nerd.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm even, interested in this. What is it? The I was just looking at it. What that new headset? Did I send that to you? That was the HTC Focus Vision, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. Looks really interesting. They're, it's got. Some
Oh
cool
yeah,
tech
you sent
into
it to me.
Yeah, it looks cool. So.
All right. So prior to this show today, because I'm still waiting for that blog to come out, let me just name what I have on my list, okay? And Brandon, you let me know if I'm missing anything. In chat, you let me know if I'm missing anything that I should have on my list of games to play. Now, again, I'm not including anything yet that was announced today because I'm going to have to update this because there are some games that were announced. But
Yeah, me too.
okay, I'll start from the top. Zelda, obviously. I've pre-ordered. I'll be going to Best Buy on Thursday.
I'll
Let's
never.
go pick that up with
No
my
way
Switch
I'll play
Lite.
that. No way. You won't catch
Right.
Just
Silent Hill 2, Metaphor, ReFantazio, Mario Party Jamboree. I got the Retro Realms games pre-ordered. The Halloween.
yeah, I did too.
Retro Realms Halloween and yeah, the Retro Realms. What is it? What's the other one?
Why am I blanking?
Is it Night of the Living Dead or?
No, it's Ash vs Evil Dead.
Yeah, Ash vs. Evil Dead. So I got those pre-ordered. That comes out the 18th. Again, because I've played every Ninja Turtles game and I review them all, I'm a Turtles fan, right? But if it's a bad game, I want to let people know so they can save their money.
I finally found the other game, by the way. When the day I sent you the picture.
Oh, Wrath of the Mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this game could very well go down the same path. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about, Chad. I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. That comes out on the 18th. It's by OG Games, Outright Games.
Yeah, that's it could be either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That's where
hope
I'm
it. I
at.
hope it's good. I hope it's good. We'll see. I'll give every game a fair shake. And like, hey, is that company known for putting out quality games? No. But guess what? Is Game Mail known for putting out quality games? No. But I just played the Karate Kid game and I really enjoyed it. So
I'm very shocked to hear that, and I mean that's great. But yeah,
Yeah.
OG Games is it's the same thing as Game Mill. I mean, essentially, like same deal.
it is.
It's the same deal.
It is. As I say,
Very
it's like
surprised that you enjoyed it.
a modern day LJN.
Yeah, it really is. That's the truth.
But-
Like, there's a couple bangers in there. I mean, you look at the Spider-Man games, like Maximum Carnage. I mean, really.
Maximum Carnage was sick.
Amazing.
The red cartridge, right?
Yeah, Red Cart. Yeah, and then the other Spider-Man game, which was Separation Anxiety, also
Yep.
LJN, very good. So
Well, I will say though that, for instance, like with the Karate Kid game, Game Mail's the publisher; they're not the developer on the game.
yeah,
So
that makes more
good
sense then.
things can happen. Meaning, like they could hire good developers, and the developers make a good game. As simple as that. So thankfully, they're not like creating the games. And so I think that's what happened here is like, hey, they hired a good developer and the developers cared. It was very clear they care about the Karate Kid IP. That was like very apparent. So
That's
yeah,
great to hear. That's great to hear. I too love the Karate Kid IP. I mean, like obviously, Cobra Kai really brought me back around to it too. But I always loved the classics and
me too.
good stuff for sure.
Me too. I love Karate Kid. I've always loved the Terry Silver character. So when he came to Cobra Kai, it was just like, oh my God, this is
Really
the
cool.
best. This is the best show.
Yeah, loved it.
Okay, so Sonic X Shadow Generations, that's coming out October 22nd and $50.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. Like in an era where remakes come out and they're full price, I mean Donkey Kong Country HD full price. The Last of Us remastered or
Yeah.
remake
Remake.
$70. You know what I mean? Like we live in an age where remasters are full price oftentimes, and
Mhm.
so to get Sonic X Shadow Generations with new content for $50, that seems like a pretty solid deal. Actually, I appreciate the $10 to $20 break, however you want to
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to ever be 70, but
And I will
I could have
say-
seen them price it at 60.
Yeah, because it looks really good.
It looks great.
like
It looks really good.
visually. I'm like actually legitimately shocked at how good it looks. So yeah, I appreciate it too.
Okay, we got Ease Nordics.
Yep.
That's coming out October 25th.
I'm sure another 10 out of 10 for me because the last two, I would say, two of my favorite games that are completely people just kind of. I mean, if you're a JRPG fan, you know about it, but if you're
Yeah.
not, you don't know about it, and that sucks to me. It has gotten, I will say, a lot more popular than it was because I was a Ys fan.
It has.
Going back to books 1 and 2 on the Turbo graphics,
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people didn't have a way to play it.
Right. Yeah.
That was the big thing is people didn't have a way to play it, but that obviously since you were there from the beginning, they've always been great games.
Yeah. Always been stellar games. I love them.
Ease to me is very reminiscent of the Trails series.
Oh yeah. Yep.
In the way that it wasn't like a household JRPG name, but as the years have went on, it's gained a lot of steam, a lot more fans, and I'm happy to see them both doing so well today.
Yeah. I
Because
was.
they worked for it, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. I mean, there was a time where like I was surprised to see both of those series continue, Trails and Ease. I mean, but they gained like Trails the last game. It gained a lot of steam from that, which is great. So you got a lot of people going back through the series and Yeah, I mean it's cool, man. It's cool to see all those JRPG series finally getting some love. So
And then you got the Tales series too.
yeah, Tales of Arise, same thing, right?
Yeah,
Like it gained
same thing.
a big popularity from the last game, so that's great. I love it. I
That's
mean,
good because like I think my main, I don't know about you, Brandon, but probably the main thing I play is JRPGs.
100%. Me too.
I play everything. I mean everything. You know that.
Yeah.
I play everything, but I mean I love my RPGs. I really
too.
do. So happy to see that. Again, Halloween. We got Dragon Age Veilguard. And then wasn't another game announced today on Halloween, but we'll get to that in a second.
I got the list here pulled up. So
Okay,
Hey,
good.
What's
Okay.
up, Catch and Daisy? Said, hi, you two. Happy to see you guys live. We appreciate it.
So Veilguard on the 31st. Then on the 7th, we got Mario and Luigi,
Mhm.
Brothership. Another game that might fly under the radar. And chat, let me know as well too if it's going to fly under your radar or if you're familiar with it. That's Slitterhead. You remember seeing that game, Slitterhead?
Let me look it up to make sure.
That game looks very interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I remember seeing it, yep.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that game does.
And it's Xseed, so I mean,
Yeah, Xseed, solid.
looks cool for sure.
All right, then we got Dragon Quest 3 HD. Like super excited for Dragon Quest HD.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, for us, for PSVR 2 adopters, we have Skydance Behemoth.
Let's go.
Do you remember that one?
I do, yeah.
That comes out the 14th. And then for anyone who's got Xbox, which I do, I have Game Pass. I stacked it for multiple years at a ridiculously low price before Xbox stopped doing that. But
I wish I had done that.
Indiana Jones comes out on the 9th, and it's funny. I'll tell you what. The reason I had bought an Xbox is because of the acquisitions, right?
Yep.
And here I am, like thinking that the only way I'm going to be able to play games like, yeah, but like specifically was Indiana Jones. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Fallout, a huge fan. I'm thinking, is this, I'm gonna have to get an Xbox, right? Because if you're Microsoft, that's the move to build your install base and to get people from probably PlayStation to come over to Xbox. And obviously, it's not going to work out that way. Everyone's going to get to play it, which is fantastic. But I guess that's why I'm telling you guys, that's why I have an Xbox. That's why I have Game Pass, was because I was anticipating the only way to be able to play those games would be on Xbox, and that being Indiana Jones and Fallout off the top of my head. There's other games too.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all those games out of the way, that's what I had on my list for the rest of the year, which, again, Lucky Squire and Karate Kid, that's out now, but we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 games. Today's the 24th of September. The next game that comes out is the 26th Zelda. So from the 26th to December 9th. That's a lot of games.
It is insane. It's crazy how many games.
Because, you still have to, like, eat, clean a house, manage other things in life. Like, there's a lot to do here, right?
Yeah.
The holidays. Everything else we have to do that you're expected to be there. You're expected to be there for said event.
Yeah.
Sports, playoff baseball, football, basketball for me, like that's starting soon. Media days on Monday. Preseason starts on the 6th. Like everything's coming together. And for as slow as people thought this year was going to be, do you remember that? At the beginning of the year, everyone's like, oh, this is going to be a down year because 2023 was such a banger. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
That was like everyone's sentiment. I'm like thinking,
I kind of sort of had the thought, but I mean, because last year was it was awesome. Yeah, I kind of sort of had the thought, but like I when I started seeing some of the stuff coming out, I quickly kind of changed my mind. So yeah, it's crazy, crazy year again.
yeah, it really is. So we got a lot of like really fun stuff to look forward to in gaming. All of us do. You know, no matter what platform you have, because I don't know what all Xbox off the top of my head is getting. Like I know they're getting the new flight simulator, if you're into that, and
It's let me say it this way. I love Xbox. I got my Series X sitting right next to me. Got 360 sitting right next to me. Not much coming out, unfortunately.
no, I agree.
There's just not, which sucks because like I said, I'm invested in the ecosystem there too, and yeah, not a lot coming.
But are they getting anything from third parties?
That's
Because
exclusive.
I know we're not really just at least third party games that Xbox owners can play. Because I know there's really nothing coming
Yeah,
from from first party stuff. Which it's like, how do you even define first party anymore with Microsoft?
yeah, it makes it hard. There's still quite a bit because we actually pulled this up with the podcast probably about a month ago, and there's still quite a bit coming out for Xbox owners. So like, if you have one, there's still third party stuff that is coming, but it is, unfortunately, it's just significantly less than either of the other two consoles. But like Nintendo, I mean, they've kept something coming once a month at least, and there's a lot there to be had, and the third party is just insane. So yeah, I don't know. There's a good bit still coming out for Xbox. Off the top of my head, I was trying to look here. Let's see. October, yeah. I mean, there's a significant list here. We got like Mech Warrior 5 comes out October 3rd. Got, of course, NHL 25, SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick Game, October 4th. Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, Lego Harry Potter Remastered Collection, Metaphor is obviously coming to that, the new Dragon Ball game, those new Transformer games, I think they're both that month. Transformers Galactic Trials, October 11th. Yeah, so you can look it up. I mean, like Sonic's coming there. Black Ops 6, obviously. Yeah, there's a good chunk. Mutants Unleashed will be there. So it's still got a big month for sure.
I got the blog pulled up. I just switched over to my other screen, and so yeah, Ghost of Yotai. I butchered that.
I think that's how you say it. I think.
Great to see a new entry in the Ghost series. Excellent.
Yep.
Again, if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn and you own it, especially if you own it, I mean, $10 upgrade. Trust me. I can say this. Like, for $10 to play this on PS5 is so worth it. It is a really, really fun game. I seriously really enjoyed it. So that's great. That's the game that comes out, by the way, on the 31st.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
That comes out the same day as Dragon Age. Horizon, I mean, they're always competing against somebody.
Always. It never fails. Which is like kind of crazy because, Dragon Age is obviously a big franchise. So there's going to be a lot of people playing that day. So it's almost like anything else coming out that day is probably going to get overshadowed. I mean, me and you both said we haven't played the games, but they're big. It's a big property. They're big games. So,
yeah. No doubt. So, we're getting Horizon Zero Dawn remastered October 31st. 2 weeks later, we're getting Lego Horizon Adventures.
Oh, just a Just pointing out that Radical Reptiles is on PSN for $3.99.
Okay, so it is paid
Yeah, it's paid.
DLC.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right now on my phone.
It's not free for like PlayStation Plus or Premium by chance.
Nope. It's just straight up paid. There's no
Oh.
option for either. So
I just got a text, or not a text, but a push notification
yeah, that's
from PlayStation saying Metro Awakening, this item on your wish list, is available for pre-order.
nice.
So, what I'm curious is about is how much is it going to be?
Yeah.
So let me find out. I'm guessing
mean-
50 before I see. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see 50. Yeah, BR
Okay.
title, I can see that.
$39.99. All
Ah,
right.
even better. Even better.
$40.
And that one gets a physical or no?
I did see a physical.
Okay.
I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if it's like physical in the sense that you can buy it from Amazon or Best Buy, or if it. I don't think it was gonna be like a boutique, as in
Yeah.
like limited run or signature or anything like that. I think I saw it
Okay.
somewhere in the last week.
I'm gonna look it up to check here. Metro.
Yeah, would you? Because I mean, obviously, I'd much rather get that.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to get it physical.
I would like to as well. So
Now, is Lego Horizon getting a physical edition?
I would think that it's gotta be, right? I would think so. But
You'd think
that,
so. I just
again,
haven't seen it anywhere.
I haven't either.
So I just clicked on the
Metro-
Lego Horizons link on the PlayStation blog. So,
And then we obviously didn't mention this, but Metro is obviously coming to the MetaQuest and Steam VR too. So if you've got any of those headsets, you don't have to be locked into
good.
just the PSVR 2.
oh, here we go. It says if you pre-order any physical edition from participating retailers or any digital, you will receive a Lego version of the Shield Weaver outfit, which, yeah, cool. My biggest thing I'm happy about is that it says physical edition. Okay, so
Yeah,
we
that's
know
great.
that.
Now I'm not seeing physical for the Metro game. I'm still looking it up, but I'm not seeing anything.
So it says the standard edition is available in both digital and physical formats.
For Metro?
No, this is for
Okay.
Lego Horizon, and yeah, Switch is launching on the same day as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's good news because that's definitely one I would love to have physical for sure. I mean, just the sentiment of seeing a Sony property over on Nintendo, which is something like, when I saw that, I thought it was a joke. That was my
Yeah.
reaction. I thought it was just a joke. But I guess
I know.
the partnership with Lego there, it makes sense. And I think it's a good move on their part. So
Great move. Yeah, and again, I am most likely, like probably 85% likely picking that up on Switch because yeah, I want to see more of this. This is great.
yeah, I'm 100% going Switch for that because, like you even said earlier, I'm sure it will come to PlayStation Plus too. So if I want to play a little more, improved version of the game, because it for sure will run better on PS5, no doubts, then I'm sure that option will be there in, a couple months down the line. But for me, if I beat it, I'm not sure that I would return to it again just because there's so many games. Like, I just haven't had that chance to really return to anything unless it got some DLC or something like that. Then I could, kind of justify the time. But yeah,
Same.
we'll see.
Like I turned on Turtles yesterday to look for that DLC because I'm like, hey, I'll go back through it. I had a lot of fun playing that game online.
Dude, me
Like
too.
that's an easy game to revisit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's pick up and play, and I kind of want to get the platinum on it because I just like the challenge, right, of
Sure.
trying to do this, and I was very close.
Yeah.
And I think one of them was needing to beat the game on like the hardest mode.
Whew.
And the best way to do that, it was either that or like defeat Shredder without getting hit.
Nice.
And the best way to do that is online.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I played it online. I loved it. I've ran through that game 4 times. Because, I mean, I ran just when I had just the base game, ran through it once and did it again with Casey Jones. And then
Yeah.
when the other stuff
Okay.
came out, I ran through it again.
So Nintendo All Stars said that their favorite game announced today was the Ghost, which Ghost of Yotai.
Mr. Coffee
Yotai.
made a good point. He said if you get on Switch, it'll be playable on Switch too. So for League of
Yep.
Horizon. Yep.
This is a good point. Very good point.
Yep.
And so you'd hope that it would run better. Of course, at 60. So again, like, I know you and I both keep going back to this, but the fact that we're getting Lunar Remastered Collection is extremely, extremely hype. I think this announcement will go under the radar for obviously anyone who doesn't know what it is. If you know, you know, and if you don't, hopefully you'll find out because this is a huge deal.
Well, I will be championing this game for sure. So anything, when this drops, it's going to be a hot discussion for me for a minute because I want to see more of this. I want to see. My biggest thing is that people that don't have the games, they're very expensive, and now you can legally play them, in an affordable way, and they run better. Like I think this is important because I don't like seeing the cost of retro games where it is. I hate it. It's one of the reasons that I don't buy. We talked about it. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I don't buy them anymore. It's rare that I find a deal these days. Very rare now. I mean, just crazy. So for people that don't have the way to play them, I'm all for it. I think it's great. Keep doing it. Bring them all these expensive JRPGs. Bring them all into these collections. Bring them to modern platforms. Give us a way to play these games.
We've had quite the renaissance lately, right?
Yeah.
Classic JRPGs, obviously with Dragon Quest HD, Super Mario RPG, getting the remake last year,
which I never thought would happen. By the way,
never did. Yeah, Moby Dojo. Yeah, I'll show the trailer right now. Let's check out this trailer. There's so many great RPGs. Like, obviously, there's other RPGs I really want to see. And that would be the one that probably everybody wants to see. Chrono Trigger HD. Give it to me.
Yeah, please.
We all want it. All right. Let me...
What trailer is it?
Lunar, which I had to
oh yeah, I was pulling it back up. I'm just running
turn
back
that
to
audio
the
down.
Live. Oh, I was. There we go.
All right, Moby Dojo, there's the trailer for you. I had to lower the audio because there's a song being sang right now, and I can almost guarantee I'll get hit with a copyright.
Yeah, for sure. Anything with vocals, it always happens.
So what's wild is like this is coming out in the spring, and so is Suikoden 1 and 2.
That's wild.
HD. Like two of the biggest JRPGs from the 90s. In fact, yeah, two of the biggest JRPGs from the 90s that are the hardest to get.
Yeah. Very expensive and just difficult to find.
Yep, hard to get, expensive. They were both were on
PlayStation 1.
Original like CD consoles, right? Because Eternal was on Sega CD, right?
Yes.
As well. Lunar.
Yep.
So we're talking the dawn of CD technology where load times were very long.
Yeah.
And unless you live through it, you you don't understand until you have. And I feel like a lot of people have, because so many people played the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, and we all know
Yeah.
how long those load times were as recently as PS4, right? Fallout 2, that's a long one. Yeah, Moby Dojo, the game looks so good.
Mr. Coffee said, "What about Sea of Stars? Isn't that supposed to be like Chrono style?"
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
It definitely, takes from it. I love Sea of Stars.
So good.
I love it.
I can't wait for that DLC, man. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that.
The Watchmakers DLC.
Yeah, it's gonna.
So
be cool.
I had one trophy left to get the platinum. And have you beat the game?
Yeah, I beat it. Yep.
Okay, so you know what trophy I'm talking about,
Yep.
probably?
Yep.
Yeah, it requires revisiting the game, and I'll just leave it at that. Like playing through it again. So that's the
There's
trophy
the
I need to get.
excuse.
I know. Well, I already knew that, though. Like, that was my plan when I beat the game, is that I'm not going to just, like, play through it again just for the sake of getting a trophy.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do that. Because I really enjoyed the game, and I respect the game and the experience that I got from it. But I'm like, hey, when the DLC comes out, I'll see if I can run through it that way, because I don't know if I can. Like, I don't know if the DLC will allow that, right? Because it's probably going to alter the game.
Yeah.
However, like, I just already knew, like, I am going to be revisiting this when the DLC comes out. I was on the original Kickstarter, so I get the DLC for free too. I don't know, is it free DLC or are they charging for
I'm
it?
pretty sure it's free.
Which is so cool, because this is
yeah.
big DLC.
Yeah, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's free from what I saw. Let's see, Sea of Stars DLC, Throes of the Watchmen is a free DLC expansion, so yeah, it's free.
Wild.
Great
That's so
stuff.
cool. I'm glad everyone gets to enjoy that.
It's cool because, like, realistically, they don't have a reason. They don't have to go back and get the free DLC. I mean, I respect when DLC is free like that because it just doesn't happen that often. Obviously, people are on a nickel and dime on this stuff, so
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And now look, again, I'm going to talk about another game that I know right now, today, I would bet money. And I don't bet. I don't like betting.
yeah, me neither.
But I would bet money, right? That Fantasia Neo Dimension is going to fall under everybody's radar.
I think that's I just don't. Yeah, first of all, there's been.
And it sucks.
Yeah, I haven't even heard anybody talk about the mobile version of the game, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't recall hearing anybody talk about it at all. So, and you were talking about install base. One thing to think about, though, is, like, I brought this up earlier. I wasn't happy about the Sonic Central because they started off with, there was a bunch of things in there that were mobile only that actually looked really fun. And, like, the Chow thing was pretty cool. People have been begging for that to come back. And, of course, it's mobile only. But, realistically, mobile only has the biggest install base because, I mean, yeah, everybody's got a phone.
Yeah.
And people do play the mobile stuff. I mean, there's got to be a reason they're making so much stuff mobile. They've got 5 different Sonic games. I'm not even counting the retro stuff, so there's more than that. 5 different Sonic games that are currently active that are newish games running. And they got all this paid DLC on them and all that's microtransactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. It's interesting.
So, I agree. So this game, I clicked on the link on the PlayStation blog.
Yeah.
For Fantasia Neo Dimension, and it says new interview with the father of Final Fantasy. Because again, like that's who's doing this game.
Yeah, which I think is a
And
big deal.
And the game, I watched a video on like the development process and like how they essentially got the game to look the way it did, right?
Yeah.
And they used handcrafted dioramas.
Oh wow, that's wild.
It's insane. Like when you see what they did, like let me see if there's a picture in here of what they did. I mean, like I'm showing a screenshot right now, and this is like an actual in-game screenshot that's in the blog. And it to me it looks like the model of like the town on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks that's what it looks like. It looks so cool. And
yeah.
I don't know why they don't show any pictures of the development process because it's so cool. Let me see.
I wonder if they include it because sometimes they do like sort of gallery or like some extras on the game where they get into dive into all that because that'd be cool to watch. Yeah, Fantasia. I pulled up on the PlayStation blog. I'm looking here.
Oh yeah, here's a picture. This was actually from Go Nintendo.
Oh, nice. All right, shout out to my guys at Go Nintendo.
Yeah. And yeah, this isn't like an actual screenshot from the game of the diorama they used that they made with their own hands and then got it into the game, and it just looks wild. It's very cool. Like this is going to be a really special game. It even says explore a multi-dimensional universe come to life set against the backdrop of over 150 charming handcrafted dioramas. So yeah, I just know that this game is going to not be on anyone's radar, which stinks. And also, made one thing that is never good, but it's coming out in December.
Yeah, that's where games go to die. I mean,
it is like Indiana Jones has come out in December.
Yeah, okay. And that's so dumb, man. Why Xbox? Your biggest title for the year?
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking, right? Is that this is essentially Game Pass, right?
Yep.
It's coming to Game Pass day one. My guess is that they're just not even counting on the physical and digital sales of it because it's coming to Game Pass, and that's where people are going to play it. And that's probably what they care about most, is that people sign up for Game Pass, right? Yeah. Is my guess.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, you look at what game came out last year in December. I can tell you right now, I know off the top of my head. And it died.
Thinking.
It went there to die.
Hold on, I'm thinking. Was that? I can't remember. What is it?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a game you can buy right now on Woot. And it's a huge name.
Is it the one we just talked about, the Avatar game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Avatar.
Okay.
Avatar came out last year on December. I think it might have been December 7th.
That makes sense. For some reason, I thought it came out in like February, but that one was instantly on sale. Pretty much. I mean, within that month, I remember seeing it already had dropped down to like $40.
Yeah.
And you said you see it all the time right now for like what, 25?
Yeah, $24.99. And so, like, look, my point is that Avatar is a really big name. Yeah. There's a lot of fans. It was one of, I don't know if it still is, highest grossing movies of all time. And so there's a fan base there, and the new movie it came out.
Yeah.
Right? The Way of the Water or something. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
But point is that, hey, dude, you had everything lined up for you to hit a home run, right?
Right.
Hey, we got the Avatar property. We got the license. We're going to make a video game. You start making the game, you're Ubisoft, right? Then you end up getting to release the game pretty much in conjunction with that movie hype. And so now you have a lot better chance of, obviously, the video game selling better, right?
Hey, not to interrupt you, but I just wanted to point out I got a tweet saying Lunar Remaster Collection come to PS4, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. So it's going to be available everywhere, which is great to hear.
Beautiful. Thank you for letting me know. That's awesome. So yeah, basically you had everything lined up for you to hit a home run, right? You had all the marketing, the financial backing for the movie that you could have springboarded off of, just like Mario did with the Mario movie. Mario movie comes out, what happens? All of the Mario games sell way better.
Yep.
And it's just a free boost. We all know how this works. That's why there's movie and video game tie-ins. That's why this has always been a thing. But it's like, man, you had perfect opportunity, but then you decide to release the game in December, where again, that's where all games go to die.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And so
it's unfortunate.
And so now Indy is saying, what is Indy saying? Hold my beer.
I hope so. That's my hope. I mean,
I
want it to do very well. I'm very excited about that game. I haven't talked about it a ton, but I'm very excited about it. I mean, anything cool like that coming to Xbox, I'm all for having a reason to boot up my Xbox, because it unfortunately right now gets very little play. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Same. Yeah, I am too. I love the indie movies. Obviously, I especially love. Yeah, I especially love 1 through 3. I even do enjoy Temple of Doom.
Yeah, I know I like it. I don't love it, but yeah.
I revisited Temple of Doom. In fact, my lady and I we rewatched the first 4 before seeing Indy 5 in theaters.
Oh, nice.
We went on opening night and we rewatched the other ones at home. And I will say this. I hadn't watched Temple of Doom in a while. And after revisiting it, I definitely found a different appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Than I had before. And I liked it before, right? But I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know why this hits different now. I just appreciate it more now for some reason. So that was really fun. But my favorite is Last Crusade, like all day.
So let me ask you a question real quick. Are you probably going to get Lunar on Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so. Because
I like the handheld option for JRPGs like that. I mean, I play in handheld most of the time with Switch. Not always, but if I'm capturing footage or streaming, I don't. But it's so much easier for me, especially with having a kid and stuff like that. It's hard to be tethered to a console or PC all the time. So I like that option to have.
Yeah, totally. No, I get that. And yeah, the Switch has turned into just this JRPG powerhouse, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Which is just so cool. But Fantasian, it's going to be in 4K on PS5, which I gotta imagine that's going to look really good with the dioramas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's also coming to Switch though. I just wonder how many games that we're seeing right now are going to look different on Switch too.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I really am. I wonder.
It's like if we knew, Brandon, right? Like if you knew right now which games were coming to Switch too,
you would
obviously
that'd be the console I'd choose for sure, right?
Yeah, and so I feel like the developers, even if they could talk about it right now, they probably don't want to. Because they don't want you to wait. They want you to double dip.
True. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, but I think a lot of these games, like, I mean, obviously, Fantasia and Neo Dimension, it's coming to Switch also. It's coming to Switch
Yep.
1. Just curious, like, is it going to run good on Switch 2?
Yeah, I do wonder performance. Like we just don't know enough. We just don't know enough. Like, is performance going to drastically improve with Switch 2? Is it just going to play exactly the same? I mean, I would assume it's going to play better, but I can't say that for sure. But with the amount of games like we're even seeing the Lunar Collection still come to PS4, obviously install base there is still big. It's huge, in fact.
Yeah.
So like that, I wonder how many games we see, where you see it's Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about that. So
I'm just really hoping that we get an upgrade path, right?
yeah.
Like if the game comes out for Switch 1 this holiday and I buy it, and then Switch 2 comes out in the spring, and the game runs better if you buy it on Switch 2. I'm like, hey, I'm over here thinking like, you got anything for me?
Yeah.
Can I give you a 10 spot, and you'll let me play it at 60 frames per second
Right,
from
right,
4K?
right. Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really hope that they handle this well, ultimately, because I want everyone to be able to take advantage, of course, of the Switch 2 and its performance. And I gotta imagine, I really think that this is going to be a main selling point of Switch 2. I really do.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so as well.
Because you know about AI.
Yeah, I think people are underestimating, what the Switch 2 is going to bring to the table. Because a great point was brought up. Like, obviously, I've been championing that, hey, DLSS is freaking phenomenal. And I've been talking about it since 2022, the very first episode of the podcast. We talked about it. So,
yeah,
we talked
you
about
and I both, we know what's up with the
deal.
AI and the DLSS.
Yeah, I think people just, obviously, like you brought up the point that, people may be concerned about and stuff like that, but they don't quite understand how the technology works as far as video games and media and how big of a deal it is. So, I mean, people want to see soon. We're close. But, yeah, I think when people see more about the console and, like, what it really can do, or maybe see it in person at a kiosk, or, I think it's going to sell. It's going to sell a lot of people once they see it. So,
yeah, 100%. And again, like in a dream scenario, and I know this is a dream scenario, right? However, I also don't think it's that far-fetched. And what I'm talking about is just the idea of Nintendo applying DLSS to Nintendo Switch Online games to their backlog. Like,
what
the
are
reason
you thinking?
Well, I've talked about this a ton on the Nintendo Byte podcast, and what I'm talking about is that, hey, look, if somebody who is not a professional game developer can apply DLSS to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the PC, and I can play that right now as soon as I end this stream if I wanted to, in 4K at up to 240 frames per second. But I'm not going to. I played at 60. But if I can play that 4K 60, and you're not a game developer, however, obviously the people who've done this are talented. There's no questioning that. But the fact that a company that doesn't work for Nintendo internally, right, can get a Nintendo 64 game to run on the PC at 60 FPS or 120, 240, and 4K by applying DLSS, why can't Nintendo do it? That's my question. Why can't they do that? You want everyone to sign up for NSO? That's what you do.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would be a dream to see them, apply that. I think it makes sense. So, yeah, I'm on board.
I would love to see that. I mean, could you imagine Wave Race 64
Oh, dude,
in
the water
4K at
physics.
60?
Yeah, man.
Dude, that would, I swear to you, that would just like, that was like next level make my day if that happened. Like Wave Race in
Those games
4K.
are underappreciated, man. Like they really showed off the consoles at the time. GameCube 64, like Blue Storm, come on, man. So good.
I know. I love Wave Race.
Me too.
The water physics, the soundtrack is amazing. I mean, dude, Wave Race is just so good. And so I think about that, right? Super Mario 64, another one that I've played that in 4K at 60 on my PC. I could do it right now. And I own the game physically. Obviously, I own all these physically. So I could do that right now, right? Again, why can't Nintendo?
They can.
I know,
They have
and
the
you know,
capability.
yeah, and they could have on the Super Mario 3D All-Star Collection. Which, God, could you imagine how much more that would have sold if they're like, oh, hey, and by the way, Mario 64, not 4K, right?
What?
We know that because it can't
Yeah.
on the Switch. But if they said, hey, we got it running at 60, people would be all over that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It might have sold twice as much if they really put the word out there. I know it already sold great,
Can I
but
just mention what a disappointment it is still that we never got Galaxy 2, which in my opinion is a better game. What the heck,
Yeah.
man?
okay. So one, I agree with you. Yes, no doubt. It is the better game. They're both amazing
They're both
games.
great, yeah.
But yeah, it's the better one. And if I had to pick two, or if I had to pick one, I would pick Galaxy 2. But, Brandon, it's intentional that they left it out. And I've talked about this on the podcast to have always felt this way. It's intentional. There's a different plan for this game. There has to be. I could see it being a standalone Switch release after the Switch 2 comes out. Kind of like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, how we kind of thought those games could be games that will be released on Switch 1, and then the hope, right, would be that they release on Switch 1 and then they perform better on
Right.
Switch 2. And I think that's the plan for it. Otherwise, why do you not include it?
Yeah.
Unless you had plans for it.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't do anything by chance.
No, they don't. They've got some sort of plan going on for everything. I thought,
They're
there was
extremely calculated.
there was the word that hey, it might be DLC for the 3D All Stars. Like you might be able to buy it separately. I was like, kind of, almost hoping that would be the case. Now, if it was like a standalone, if it got like its own physical release, that would be awesome. I don't know in what capacity that we'll see it, but that too, I feel like I don't know if it's just me. I don't know the sales on it, but that one I felt like kind of it didn't do nearly as well as Galaxy 1. At least I didn't hear as many people talk about it. I saw people have Galaxy all the time, but never 2. So like I don't know about the sales on that one. I would have to look. I don't have actual numbers, but Mr. Coffee said, I think Nintendo can, but I personally think they don't see it being a blockbuster seller. If we look at the gaming landscape today, these IPs have to sell tens of millions. Yeah, I don't know. Wild.
I think something's going on with that game.
I
Like
think
that's
so.
not the last we're gonna see of it. Not only that, but it has Yoshi, right?
Yeah.
And releasing that game to a new generation, because when did Mario Galaxy 2 come out? 2010?
December, yeah,
9?
that sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. It's 2024. Switch is coming out next year. So 15 years later. So there's so many so many people who've never played this game, right? And so you release Galaxy 2 for that other reason, is that it's starring Yoshi as well. Like, Yoshi is just as much a star in that game as Mario.
Yep.
And so you release that around the time that that basically you have a Yoshi game not releasing soon, but you've showed it. You've showed a trailer and it's on the calendar to release maybe 6 to 12 months down the road. That's what you do. You basically prime people. You plant some Yoshi seeds for everybody. Be like, oh yeah, I remember Yoshi. Like, this is great. Yeah, we had the Yoshi game on Switch. Here's Yoshi and Mario, and then yeah, now there's a new Yoshi game coming out. This holiday. That's what you do. Like that releasing Galaxy 2 will only help the sales of a new Yoshi game. That's my point.
Yeah.
So I still think there's plans for it. But yeah, as far as the DLSS on the NSO service, I mean, I would love to see it, right? I would absolutely love to see it. But part of me bringing that up is my point that you and I know about how awesome DLSS is, for the fact that if non-Nintendo developers can get certain 64 games running in 4K, well past 60 frames per second on a PC, what can they do with proprietary Nintendo DLSS? Like DLSS that Nintendo has been working on with NVIDIA for a long time, plus Nintendo's technical wizardry. What can they cook up? Those are the things that I get excited about, thinking about a new console and what they can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see, what that brings to the table. I think it's a big deal. So, yeah, I'll keep, talking about it consistently because I think it's important. I think it's an important part of that. People are going to look at the other specs maybe, and I don't know. The specs that we've seen are good, and the DLSS is just another level. It's a big deal. So,
and that's the thing, like the rumored specs that we've seen and the specs that we're almost certain are the specs, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty positive that those are the
Like,
specs. 12 gigabytes
specs
of RAM, that's great.
I love the RAM. Like, the fact that we're getting that much RAM, that to me was huge. That we were getting 12 instead of like 8 or 10, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's definitely great, especially for a handheld hybrid system. It's pretty dang good.
Yeah, and you gotta think that 10 gigs is for sure how much can be used.
Yeah, I think we're looking at like 1 point something being used for the system.
Yeah, for the operating system. So that's good. Like, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Mr. Coffee said, Nintendo has done a great job to keep it safe and making huge profits. They got hurt real bad with GameCube and Wii U, and now with these over-budget games failing, Nintendo just wants to take its time. And then I also mentioned that Majora's Mask on 3DS sold under 4 million, and Ocarina sold 6 million. So it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. We're going to be talking about a whole lot between the podcasts and stuff like that. We're going to, I think we're going to see something very soon for Switch 2, like very soon. Yeah, and I'm sure more stuff is probably going to come out because, I mean, if those were, factory leaks that we saw before, my assumption is that more information is going to come out, probably solidify the specs. Maybe there's something that we see that's more concrete as far as that goes, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I tell you what, it is a great time to be a gamer because
I was saying the same thing.
Too many games. There's too many good games. I don't care what anybody says, but there's so many that I definitely can't keep up. And I try very hard to. There's so many that I want to play, and things like Karate Kid. Like despite the game mill thing, I would have liked to have checked that out too, and I'm sure that I will grab it because I
Yeah.
didn't grab it the other day, but I'm sure that I will. And now that I know you said you had a difficult time finding it, I think I probably will just get and grab it. But again, it's just like things like that. I just there's no time to check out. There's too much I want to play. The backlog is crazy. There's games that I've said, I'm going to at some point do something with on the channel, whether it's streaming or whatever. And there's just a lot of things I want to get to. I'm backlogged like crazy. The backlog
The backlog,
is
yeah.
ever growing, man. And there's things from 2020 I bought for the PS5 that I still have not gotten to touch. So
Yeah, we all have a backlog, and
and
everyone
and a great
everyone
problem to
looks at
have.
it differently. And what?
A great problem to have. I mean, that's a good problem.
It is. And it's like anything. It's like any number. It's like any amount of things that you have to do on your list, right? When you have your list of things you got to get done, whether it be at home or at work or at school, right? Like when you think about the number, it becomes very daunting, right? When
Yeah.
you just look at the number and hyper focus on that. It's like anything, do the Swiss cheese method, poke holes in the project until there is none left, and you'll eventually get it done.
Yeah.
And I look at the backlog, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of games, right? But again, that's a great problem to have. And I will say this, like for everybody who's saying like, and we've heard it all year. I'm sure you've heard it, ton, Brandon, too. PlayStation fans saying like, yeah, we don't have any games to play, or people just saying that PlayStation has no games. And anytime anyone says that about any console, I mean, maybe not Xbox, but you just look at it, it's like we all have backlogs.
Yeah.
When you're saying stuff like that, that's when you need to take a step back and be like, hey, you know what? I do have all these games I need to play. Now would be a good time instead of going on the internet and complaining that there's no
Right.
games to play.
That was my first thought. Yeah, and the other thing
Dude,
is,
I don't
like,
get it.
obviously do you only play the AAA game? Like, do you only play these, massive super big IP or first party games? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there are people that are. That's all they play all year is maybe
Probably.
the AAA IPs, which there's nothing wrong with that. But my thought is like if
Yeah.
you just go under the surface of that just a little bit, my goodness, there's so many games. There's so much.
There's so
many
much that I
mid-tier
can't keep up with
games.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I can't keep up with like all the news of them coming out every single day. There's a new game launching. Like
Yeah,
quite
like
literally.
that list that I have on my dry erase board. So I'm going to do my absolute best to work insane hours to try and play these and give good reviews for these games, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm mentally locked in and ready to try and really tackle this holiday season and review these games. That is my goal. And
One thing you can do too, if this is like ever, like I've done this multiple times. So if there's ever like a game that say it might be like, quote unquote, like lower tier game or something, and like you were playing it and maybe you can't get like a full video out, like you could do one, I've done it many times, a first impressions video. So you like get to at least play a little bit and still get something out, or like even like a short.
yeah,
You could do a short on it, like just
that's
straight up.
true.
It's just I've seen people do it, where they it might be a smaller game and they've got a bunch of other games they need to do long form videos on. Like it's something you can do to at least mention the game. And you could do a couple. I mean, it's 60 seconds, so you could do a couple. There could be a 3-part thing on that game. Like there's a lot of options, but I know for me, yeah, I've got my list, and I definitely want to try to work through those as well. Like Zelda is coming up, so I'm going to be. I don't. Here's the problem with Zelda for me. One, I want to make sure I also like thoroughly enjoy the game and like be able to spend the time with it. I want to, but
I agree.
at the
That's a
same,
game you don't rush through.
yeah, I don't
Ever.
want to rush through it.
It's sacred.
Yes, yeah, and like the other thing is like there's going to be by the time I either get to a point where I feel I'd like to beat it. Obviously, I don't know how many hours we're looking at for this game, um, but yeah, I want to be able to get a video out on it, but I also want to be able to enjoy it. And I did the same thing with Tears. I did like first impressions, and then came back around, gave my thoughts, and I hadn't even beat the game yet, mind you. Got another video out on it, and got it was kind of like a update sort of on it. What are my thoughts? Like I played enough of the game. I beat the story. Like I beat the story, so technically I beat it. I just didn't do all the other stuff yet, which I wanted to do. So I got something out on it, you know, and kind of updated on it. What were my thoughts after my first impressions? And that was another game where I wanted to take my time with it. So much so that I'm still playing it, like literally. Like it's still going through like the other stuff. So I do it a little kind of in pieces, you know, a little bit at a time when I can. Because Zelda is one like I never want to rush through.
Never.
I just love this,
And I
series so
never
much.
have.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, like obviously you've known me long enough to know that like I'm a very like detail oriented person.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And so when I review games, that's what you get. And you know, I always say hopefully people like it because this is who I am. I'm detail oriented.
Nothing's changing.
And yeah, and I think hopefully there's a market for it. But I want to figure out a system to do the first impressions because I've done a few first impression videos on my channel.
I think it's a
And-
great option to have. You know, I'll be just straight up like one of my favorite YouTubers ever. One of the reasons I do this today is Happy Console Gamer.
Happy Console
Yeah,
Gamer. I knew you
yeah,
were gonna say that
yeah.
because he does the first impression
He
videos.
does the first impression. Sometimes that's
And
all
they're
he does
good.
for the game, and that's okay because you know he's also touching a lot of games. So I know how he does this sort of process. Sometimes he does just the first impressions, starts another game, then loops back around to that and does it in his free time. So it's like you still get something out there on it, and you can let your audience know like what are your thoughts on it, and like yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty great game the rest of the way through. But yeah, he does. You know, I think it's very smart. I think it's a very smart idea because I unfortunately know that I will not be able to get a long form video out for all the ones that I would like to because there's a lot coming up. So I've got my list. I know when I was looking at it the other day, it's across the room, I had 37 games, I believe, marked on it. And that's obviously not everything and not including today and things
Yeah.
like that. So I know for sure that I can't get something out on every single one of those, especially with where the release windows are and stuff. So yeah, it's a great option to have, you know, to at least like put something out there and tell your audience, yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm like 7 hours into it or whatever it might be. And it's especially JRPGs, right? So like, that's the big thing where it could be, you know, the Personas or something like that, where it could be, you know, 100 to 200 hour game, like however long you want to drag it out realistically.
Yeah.
So it's a great option. I think it's great. And you let your audience know. So
Yeah, I got to come up with a system for it.
I do too. I think I need
Like a
to
review
do
system, 'cause
little
I-
bit better
you know,
with it for sure.
I have a template for my reviews that I use, and so I want to come up with one for first impressions that obviously is a first impression, so it's not one that basically forces me to not be super detailed if I follow the template, the system, right? Like if I follow these steps,
yeah.
it'll force me to not be super detailed, and therefore I
I-
can do this
I
for
think-
more games.
I think that's great, but one thing with my thoughts of that is like also you don't want to box yourself into only like if you I don't know about you, but I find out that when I get really excited about something or I've got a lot of good things to say. I don't necessarily like ramble, but I get into like a long conversation where I kind of don't stop, and I feel like that's where the best stuff comes out from me. But it's great to have a system for sure. I just, there's a lot of ways that you can do things. There's nothing wrong with that. I think having a system like that is great, and it kind of keeps you on point. You know what you're going to talk about and things like that. Because I know I script out what the majority of what I'm going to say, but I don't like script myself out like as a literal script where I'm reading word for word.
Yeah.
But
I'll be a rambling man if I just talk.
I know,
and
like,
I'll be editing for 2 days.
well, that's the thing, right? Like, cause I don't know how some people do it, but I can't get a full video unless it's a news video where I basically like am doing minimal editing, or maybe there's been a couple where I've like pretty much done nothing at all except chopped a few seconds from the beginning, chopped a few seconds from the end, and I got it up, and they were good videos. But I don't edit that quick. And the problem is that I get too detail oriented with editing. So that's something I got to get better at, where I need to let myself not be so boxed in with the editing. Cause I'm like, gotta be perfect with everything I could possibly be perfect on with a video. And I gotta stop that. That's one of my problems. I'm working on it all the time. It's just, I want to put something good out there. You know what I mean? We all do, obviously. But I feel weird putting stuff out there. Like, I never did like when I put something out that wasn't like pretty much edited at all. I kind of hate those videos, although they've all been some of my best videos. Crazy enough, which is, a lot more audience of them for some reason. But I think it's that rambling thing where I do, like I said, I get really, it's not a bad kind of rambling. Like, I get excited, and you can tell. And yeah, so now I'm rambling about that, but
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see some PSVR 2 games. I know that. That's good to see that come out of that. No Concord 2, which is unfortunate. And a little bummed out about that.
Concordia.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess
Ooh.
What
Dude,
are
Did you hear this?
What?
So I'm scrolling through Twitter, and anyone who's still in chat, you might want to hear this, but Nintendo deal on Twitter.
Yeah.
Posted, heads up, if you're hoping to pick up Zelda Echoes of Wisdom in store at GameStop on Thursday. I'm hearing that a lot of stores don't even have any copies in transit. So unless they get overnighted to the stores, they may not be available at launch.
Don't tell me that. That's where I pre-ordered it.
I thought you might have pre-ordered there.
Yeah.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, how many times have I mentioned that I have games pre-ordered, at Best Buy, and I'll get a text from them.
Yeah.
I'll get a notification on the app, and I'll get an email. No, they'll say, hey, it's ready. Come on down to pick it up. And then I go down, they're like, yeah, we don't have it. It hasn't come in yet. I'm like, why'd you send me an email? I just drove like 50, 60 miles round trip.
Yeah, that's
which is not cheap in a Jeep Wrangler. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, why Best Buy do you do this? And it's not the person's fault at the store. I never get mad. Obviously, I don't never get mad at anyone, but it's like the way I'm talking to you now is how I feel though inside. It's like I'm pissed. It's like, for real? And also because I want to play the game now, because I've been waiting for a long time, and I want to review it. And my competition gets, for a lot of video games, a lot of my review competition, they get review codes, so they get the games super early. Meanwhile, I got to buy it on day one and try to compete, right? And so when they don't have the game, and you're trying to support physical still, it's frustrating. And this happens all the time at Best Buy. So if this is legit, what's happening at GameStop, I got to say that really sucks because, GameStop's obviously one of the biggest ones where people are going to pre-order this. And they had a pre-order bonus there, right?
Yeah, it was the fabric poster, which that's what I was gonna bring up, is that I already had a hard time deciding which one, because I wanted the acrylic stand from Best Buy, and I might still figure out a way to get that too. But I may, I don't know, potentially cancel this. Then I'm a little nervous. It makes me a little nervous. I don't know. We'll have to see. I really like that fabric poster. I think I like the acrylic stand a little bit better, but I already pre-ordered it there. It's not a big deal. I'm sure it'll probably go on eBay for $15 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's a bummer. I hope that's not the case, because I plan on going there as soon as they opened up and picking that up and trying to get started on it as soon as I can, because there isn't much time, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but the podcast is Friday night. I work during the day, Friday, and then already have a scheduled stream for Saturday night that's not Zelda. So there's not going to be a whole lot of time to play it. Some Thursday, I'm going to take advantage of all the time I can get for it, but man, I hope that's not the case. I hope it shows up. That's a bummer for anybody else that pre-ordered at GameStop too.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I hope that's not the case for people. I really
sure
hope.
not. Yeah. Crazy. Well, what do you think? Just give me a quick top 5 of what we saw that you think were probably the standout things. For you, anyway, personally.
Let's see here.
Because there was actually quite a bit when you look at the list. Like, it's kind of surprising. There's a good chunk of stuff.
Let me see here. So, state of play. I want to see someone who has a full list.
Digital Trends has a full list. That was the first one that came up for me.
Uh, 2 hours ago. Here we go. Thank you. All right. So, I got Ad City.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh my. Everywhere.
I know.
This is like 90s internet.
Yeah, it's crazy. I same thing.
I think I got them all closed now. Okay, so Astrobot, yeah, getting an update. Great. Excuse me. World, Monster Hunter Wilds again. We've already seen this.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Lego, same. Horizon, same. Top 5. So, I'm excited for the Ghost game. Yeah. But it's not coming out for a while. I would say things I was most excited for.
It doesn't have to be 5, just whatever you like top you think that.
Well, there was 5 for sure. So I think seeing the Midnight Walk.
Yeah.
That game looks awesome.
It does.
Metro Awakening looks very good. I don't know if that's top 5, but it looks very, very good.
Yeah.
I think the number 1 for me is Lunar, like hands down. I can't believe we're getting that.
Yeah. I think it's the same for me. And I was saying that through the whole thing until Ghosts. I don't know if it tops out over, but it's up there. Lunar might be my.
Well,
number
here's the
1.
thing. Here's the thing for me, and you'd probably agree. We knew we were going to be getting a new Ghost game at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no idea we'd ever get a Lunar game.
Same. Yep.
Like a Lunar remastered. That was on nobody's bingo card.
No,
So
definitely was not. I was out of left field. As soon as I saw it on there, I was like, oh my God.
And that's how I felt when Suikoden got announced. Like I was super hyped for that. And so for me, that's I guess the most exciting announcement was that, because I did not expect it. Fantasia Neo Dimension is probably number 2.
Yeah,
again,
I'm hyped for it for sure.
Yeah, it's very unique. And when you've been playing video games as long as we have,
It's hard to be unique.
it is hard to see something that you haven't seen before, like in some way, shape, or form, because video games developers learn from playing other video games, right? And they adopt certain things from other games. It's not copying. It's hey, I really like this in this game. I want to make sure we include this in our game. That's just how it works. So it's not often that you see something that looks completely different. I mean, for example, the Plucky Squire just did that for me,
Oh yeah, for sure.
right?
Great
And
game.
and I think Fantasia Neo Dimension is going to has a very good chance of doing the same. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So I'm hyped for that.
Hey-
I think the PSVR 2 games they all looked really good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That I think so too. I mean, like, Hit Me a game, for instance. That's really cool just to visit that universe that way. But like you said, the Midnight Walk looks really cool. Now, the Hell Is Us, to me, that one was a standout looking PSVR 2 title. That was the one that was PSVR 2, wasn't it? Or was it no, sorry, Arc Age Chronicles. That one
That game looks really cool. That was going to be in my top 5 too. It is.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Super excited about that. Yeah, I'm looking here to see. So, I mean, number one's it's gonna be Lunar. I guess 2 is Ghost. Yeah, we did know that was obviously in the works and obviously coming. I think that Fantasia and Neo Dimension would probably be third for me. I'm having a hard time debating here. I guess Hell Is Us 4, and then probably Arcade Chronicles at number 5. But I also am very excited about Metro Awakening. That's a great series, and the VR looks really cool. So it's hard to pick, but I would say if we both got 5 things that we're pretty hyped for on this, to me that's a win for the showcase. And I will mention, I was just scrolling X because I wanted to see what some other people's opinions were. And I saw 4 people back to back all saying it was terrible. So, opinions are all over the place.
This is why, though, you can never live your life to please others, like be a people pleaser,
True.
because
Yeah.
you never will. You never will. Like, I walked away from this very happy. Like, these were all like so many of these games I will be playing. I mean, like, Brandon, if you look at this list, let's just look at it. So, of the games announced, Our World, yeah, I don't plan on playing it, but Monster Hunter Wilds, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's up. We knew about it. That's the only reason I didn't say my top 5, but that would probably, if I was counting stuff that we knew about, I mean, that's near the top of the list for me. I'm very hyped for that game.
The Lego Horizon, yeah, I've been planning on playing it. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. Hey, great for everyone who hasn't played it. Even great for original owners because it's $10 to upgrade it. Appreciate that. The Ghost of Yotai game looks awesome. But then, like, literally on Digital Trends, the games that are listed under everything else, those are actually the games I was most excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me too. I actually was not even looking at the other ones because that had all the stuff that I was really excited about. I mean, like Astrobot getting DLC already, that's really cool. Game literally just came out, and like you mentioned, Power World, that's great for people that love Power World or who have been wanting to play it. I think that's great news. I don't plan on revisiting it, but I'm not, I want to look at other people too. Like people who want to check it out and don't have an Xbox or a gaming PC. Now they have an opportunity, and PlayStation has a large install base, so that's great.
I agree. Like, looking at the everything else list, of all these games, there's Midnight Walk, Hell Is Us, Metro Awakening. Archie Edge, or whatever Chronicles, Lunar Remastered, the Turds DLC, Sonic, Fantasia Neo Dimension Dragon Age, Alan Wake DLC, Hitman on the PSVR 2, Legacy of Kain Remastered, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, Fear of the Spotlight, Towers of Aghasaba. I'm not interested in
I
that.
actually already forget what that one looked like.
I don't know, but I did see that on the bottom of the screen during the trailer, it said something about online. It might be a live service type game. I don't know.
It says it's a game where you create. Oh yeah, okay. So you create your fantasy island with villages, ecosystems, and friends. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one. You see, I already forgot. We thought it.
Yeah.
We both said it looked cool, but I don't know that I'm going to play it. The trailer looked decent. Like I was the one we were making fun of the glider and stuff.
Exactly. So I doubt I'd play that. I
Yeah,
probably won't.
I don't think I will either.
Lego Fortnite, no. But I mean, okay, so outside of that though, Dynasty Warriors Origins, I don't know if I will, but Stellar Blade DLC, WWE 2K24, Dead Space, Doki Doki Literature Club as the essential games,
Pretty good
Dino
list.
Crisis as your classic, which is cool, you know, to get a nice little classic PS1 horror game for October.
And they always perform better too, which is great. Dino
They do.
Crisis, man, is one of my very top series I want to see make a return, but I don't know. Actually, I'm pretty sure an article came out that said the reason the Dino Crisis is not getting any love is because they don't want it to compete with Monster Hunter, which makes no sense because they're nothing alike. But that was,
No.
I believe,
Dino Crisis is survival horror.
yeah, it doesn't even make any sense, but that is what I remember reading because we talked about it on the podcast. I remember that. It wasn't that long ago, so.
Yeah, so the classics are fun. Like I would go through Dino Crisis again.
Yeah,
because
same.
it's been like decades, literally. So that's cool. Last of Us Part 1 coming to PS Plus for, you know, it's a $70 game. I mean, it's more recently, it's been $50 for a while, but that's for anyone who hasn't played it. I mean, it's a fantastic game. I've beat both and platinum both. I really enjoy them. And so all great stuff. So out of all those games, maybe 2 I'm not going to play out of all of them.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, this is a
win.
fantastic show.
Yeah. So,
And then,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I got to ask one question. They showed it in the sizzle reel.
Yeah.
For the PS5 Pro. When the heck are we getting an official release date for Metal Gear?
I knew you were going to say that.
Is it going to be at Tokyo Game Show?
I think there's a good chance because Konami has a showcase, so more than likely. I think it's funny because we had the Sonic event today, then we seen Sonic Generations again, and they also have a Sega showcase at Tokyo Game Show. So I think we're going to see that 3 times in the same week. But I think that Metal Gear Solid Delta has a very good chance of being shown there. Very good chance. Like,
okay,
I think
I do too.
It's up there of getting some, you know, more details on it and things like that. So,
well, let me ask you this: is it coming out this year?
I don't think so. No, I think it's a next year game, but I could be wrong. I just think there's too much competition for October, November, kind of, right? Like there's still quite a few games coming out in November. But I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I think December's off the table, so we got 2 months to work with. I don't know. I mean, I think it could be an early February game, maybe. March potentially. I don't know. I don't think we're super far away from the release, but I don't know. It's really hard to predict with that one, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting to see because the rumor originally, if you remember, there was like a GameStop listing for Metal Gear to release in November. This was months ago, but and obviously pre-orders went up a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. Like I said, it's possible. If it's coming out this year, it would be November. I don't see it being an October game at all.
I agree. I would say November for sure. Now, PlayStation Pro, PS5 Pro comes out. What was it? October
Yeah, October
17?
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And it is a PS5 Pro game. It was on the sizzle reel, and it says it right here in this article too. So
I mean, that's another,
what if that was like a launch game for it, and they're just waiting to tell people?
It would make sense. I mean, that does make sense for sure. I'm very excited for that game. Yeah, man, I don't know. November is a possibility for sure. I don't remember seeing the rumor. Yeah, I could have forgot, or I don't know, just completely missed it. But I could see November.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I guess sort of close out here. I don't normally like to rate things, but where do you think it is, at least on a scale, for you as far as an event?
Yeah, so going into it with no expectations and looking at it as, hey, dude, this is great. Like, I didn't know we were going to be getting one this week. I didn't even know I was going to be live streaming it.
Yeah, me neither. Right?
But I'm like, yeah, you know what? I wanted to start live streaming events, and I'm glad we did because I had a good time.
Yeah, me too.
Great conversations with you the whole time. Great conversation with chat, and we got to see a ton of great games that I am really excited for, like 100%. So again, going in with no expectations, and also at the same time, I wasn't expecting to see like anything crazy either, right?
Yeah, right.
So you could say that is an expectation, but I guess to me that's just kind of like realistically going in there.
Right.
I don't expect to see something crazy every time one of the big three holds a show. I don't need to. I just want good games.
Exactly.
And that's what we got. And so for me, for just getting good games, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah, I was debating between an 8 or a 9 myself. I think I do lean more towards the 9. And like, for instance, Mr. Coffee in the chat, so he rates it a C+. So like, I saw people that absolutely hated the event. I saw a lot of excitement for Lunar. So I did see people that were excited about at least that. I, for some reason, saw several tweets about that, and then also several tweets about it being a bummer show. Then he gives it, C+. It would be around the average mark,
Well, let me ask you this. Let's factor this in. If you don't have a PSVR 2, then 5 of the games don't apply to you, and they apply to us, so I was hyped about it.
Right.
Because they all look good.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like JRPGs, or if you just don't know about these games, like if you don't know about Lunar and you don't know about Fantasian, and that the father of Final Fantasy is behind this game, and so if you don't know about those two, or you just don't like JRPGs, so let's look at everyone who doesn't care about JRPGs and doesn't have PSVR 2. Then yeah, I think some of the opinions out there are going to be accurate for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But
and if you're not getting a PS5 Pro, for instance, because like the sizzle reel stuff we saw at the end, there wasn't a bunch about that or anything, but there was stuff mentioned in there. Yeah, I definitely can see that. And I also wanted to mention this because I just saw it pop up on my screen here. Resident Evil Village is going to be 120 frames per second on the PS5 Pro. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it is cool. I haven't played many games at 120 frames on PlayStation. One of the games I did play though was a game I reviewed earlier this year, and it's an old game, and it was a game that I was playing for the first time.
Yeah.
That was Star Wars Dark Forces remastered.
Oh, yeah. Yep, good stuff.
And-
I love that game.
Yeah, and I have a TV that can do. It took advantage of everything. It has variable refresh rate. It has something else, and I got to play at 120
HDR.
frames. Yeah, and it was badass. And I did try it at 60, just so I could be like, well, what's really the difference? Because I don't really play any games at 120.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? How does it feel? It did feel different.
It does. I think it's
it felt better.
fantastic for sure.
Yeah,
like this
It felt-
says
it did.
this says it this is a major performance boost and adds greatly to the scare factor. So like they're saying, and which I can see, like I can envision that right now. Resident Evil, that would make sense for that type of game. I think 120 frames is great. I don't think every game needs it,
No.
but I think it's cool.
No, let's get to 60 first.
Yeah,
Let that be, the
'Cause
marker
we
that
can't
we
even do
need.
that with a lot. We saw games in here that I'm pretty sure is not coming at 60 frames per second.
Well, yeah, like
Monster Hunter,
obvious Monster Hunter is not.
yeah. Which, again, yeah. Let's get to 60. Let's make. I think 60 is a good standard to try to meet. I think so. I mean, like, what was the game I played on Series X? It was a 2D platformer at 120 frames per second. Let me think here. What are those? There's two of them. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sequel. Yeah, I played those at 120 frames. And it was kind of nifty because if you remember sort of the jumping and how like it just flowed better. Like it just looked, I don't know how to explain it, but as a platformer, you kind of think like, oh, that's kind of silly. But actually for that game, it really made movements in the background looked better with things that were like kind of interactive in the background. And like I think trying to hit 60 is a pretty good standard, and I think we do need to focus on that. I agree. And yeah, I think optimizing, making 4K actually being 4K, and making 60 actually be 60. Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think we talked about it right before, but in that sizzle reel, they showed Dragon's Dogma 2
Yeah, I was actually
for the PS5 Pro.
I was
And
just
so
looking at
how much
that,
you
yeah.
want to bet? That's 60.
Yeah, it's
60 FPS.
Here's what they said about Dragon's Dogma 2. Says it will benefit from the power of the PS5 Pro with the PSSR, a new ray tracing technology allowing improved frame rates. So I'm assuming that means 60. It doesn't actually say 60. There's like this actual quote from Capcom manager, but there is no actual mention of 60, just improved frame rates.
Do you think they just unlocked the frame rate? Because they did that for PS4
it's
Pro for
possible.
a lot of games.
Yeah, it's very possible that they do that.
Dude, if it can't hit 60 on the Pro,
That's kind of
what the heck?
Yeah, with PSSR, with the DLSS technology, or that doesn't make any sense to me. They're doing 120 with Resident Evil Village, so I mean, like, come on, that doesn't make any sense. They gotta be able to, I would think. Like,
Well, what is this all about? Is it the engine? Because like is the Dragon's Dogma engine and the Monster Hunter engine the same engine? Or
I think so. I would, yeah,
I
I
think
would
so, too.
assume so. Yeah, I would assume that it would be. But like, Dragon
so does
Age,
it have to do with the engine?
it potentially
'cause,
there's
I mean,
something
there-
holding it back. There's something.
Yeah, because their other game, obviously Resident Evil, is if they can get that running at 120,
Yeah.
then I mean it's the same company here. Obviously, that's the Resident Evil engine that it's using, but like, does it come down to them not optimizing it, or
There's
Is it just stuff we don't know because we're not game developers?
I mean, it could be that. There's got to be something, I assume, within the engine that's being used that's got to be holding it back. I mean, like, even they even mentioned more on Resident Evil 4, saying the game runs at a higher frame rate, making the dynamic action even more intense. Also uses the power of the PS5 Pro for ultra high resolution technology, painting vividly realistic imagery and more beautiful visual effects than before. So again, Resident Evil 4, there's no actual mention of 60, and here's the key takeaway from that. They do mention it for Resident Evil Village, but they don't mention it for the other games. So my assumption again is with Resident Evil 4, maybe that's not a locked 60 either. So that's kind of weird, because I would think with that one, it would. Again, not a game developer, but I would think in my head, they're doing it with Village. Yeah, it's a first-person game. It's a little bit different, but I would think that they would be able to do with that too. I mean, for a game like that where also like you're walking most of the time, I don't know. Something about that's off. It's a little weird. They mentioned Dragon Age is going to be 60 on PS5 Pro. We'll also have ray traced ambient occlusion, or RTAO, in the 60 frames performance mode, which is I've never heard of that. RTAO. Obviously, I know what ray tracing is, but okay, so it does that as well. Jedi Survivor says will be an enhanced version. Doesn't give details. I lied. The one below it says so. We offer our highest ever console resolution at 2160p. At the same time, performance mode delivers 60 frames per second, but now with higher resolutions and added visual depth of ray tracing for reflections. The new PSSR upscaling ensures a sharper visual experience in both modes. So that one is improved. Is there any other ones that are significant? It says Rise of Ronin, but doesn't give details. Metal Gear Solid just says the innovative PSSR technology allows for the trees and lush vegetation of the game's iconic jungle terrain to become more vivid. We will deliver a smoother gameplay experience with better frame rates through the entire game. So again, no actual mention of the frame rate, but just says better frame rates. So I'm wondering about this PSSR now, because this makes me kind of, we got like 2 mentions of actual solidified frame rate, but yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I wonder what's going on with the technology or these engines or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I am really interested too. And I just think it's wild that, to buy obviously the PS5 Pro at the price it is.
Yeah.
And that games aren't going to be running at 60 still.
Yeah, that's I don't even know, man. I wonder if it has something to do with their proprietary DLSS that's the problem, or if it's on the game developer side. I would think it's on their side. We don't know because it's proprietary, we don't know what DLSS they're using, whether it's trying to use like 3.5, what's going on there. We don't know that. It's their proprietary number, so basically they don't have to tell us whatever it is that they're working off of. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I will say, like, overall, pretty good showcase. Very interested now that I read a little bit more about that on the PS5 Pro, because I'm very curious, what's going on with that technology, and like, is it actually going to be used and optimized? And because we saw what happened with the PS4 Pro, there was very little realistically at the end of the day. It was almost, and it didn't sell anywhere near the other units. But at the end of the day, I still don't know that. I think that purchase, if you already had a PS4, was justified. Like, for us super enthusiasts, yeah, but like, same with the Xbox One X. Like, I felt the same way about that, where it's like, you don't need to get this. You don't need to upgrade. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I don't know if it justifies another, $400 or whatever it was at the time for for that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very skeptical with the PS5 Pro because they do have to also be able to develop and make games for the original, version. And so how much will actually be put into that effort, or how much is going to be held off waiting for the PS6? Like, I just don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I mean, I think overall, a good showcase. I thought it was great. So you thought so as well. So that's pretty good stuff. And then
Yeah.
we are streaming the opening segment for Tokyo Game Show. So if anybody is watching now and wants to watch that, that is on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is, what is that? That's 5 or 6 your time, right?
Yeah, it starts at 6, so we're gonna go on a little early, right?
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
around,
yeah.
probably about an hour, maybe early.
Yeah, I would say about an hour. Yep. So
Cool.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, so everyone in chat, I'll schedule it on YouTube, and I'll post a community update and throw it up on Twitter and everywhere else. But Tokyo Game Show, we are going to live stream that. The opening keynote, that's on Thursday we're going to go live at around 5 p.m. Pacific time. It starts at 6.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, see what's announced. There are still going to be some big name developers there. Obviously, the big three are not there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Konami will be there. Hopefully, we'll hear something about Metal Gear, and I mean, who knows? They do own the IP for Castlevania. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, we could only hope.
One day.
And-
One day, maybe we'll get it.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be fun. And then they've got events going on all throughout the days. On those days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think even Monday. But unfortunately, most of them are in the middle of the night when we're going to be sleeping. So we just kind of wake up to whatever's happening. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of Tokyo Game Show.
Well, yeah, that's what's nice too about Tokyo Game Show is you do get to wake up to a ton of news.
Yeah,
which is nice.
I like that too. I think that's pretty cool too. I've always enjoyed that, waking up to the news and stuff like that too. So
yeah, all right, man. Well, we're both gonna jump off here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the live stream. And again, just a reminder, we're going to be going live on Thursday for Tokyo Game Show. We're going to live stream the keynote. And then, of course, Brandon and I, and that's who's on the line again. This is Brandon from Game Junction, who is our newest co-host for the Nintendo Byte podcast. We'll both be on tomorrow with Nate and Eric, Nintendo Prime. Super excited. Again, every morning we wake up, could be the morning we get Switch 2 news. You just never know. So I'm excited. And we'll see everyone tomorrow, hopefully, at during the podcast. So Check us out. Same time as always, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And Brandon, you got anything else you want to say?
Nope. I hope to see you all at the Nintendo Byte podcast tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time. And yeah, like you said, every day is another day. We could wake up to the Switch 2 or even more information. I'm pretty excited about it. So, yeah, that's all.
All right. Sounds good. All right. We're signing off. Everyone.